hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. You cannot stop me, I'ma make it to the top spicy. Call a covenant, not cocky. You cannot break me, this world's mine for the taking. Got an itch, man, I'm making. I'll keep my head down and grind and be patient. I'll take a stab at the top and the sailing. They can all try, but you cannot contain it. Cause I see the things that I want and I take on my goal. Push myself to the brink, no limit. Do what it takes to be free, committed. I'm a little obsessed with things, I'll admit it. But that's what it takes to get a freedom ticket. Got a killer instinct and it's just the beginning. Breaking down walls and the hurt start thinning. And the more you push it, the fast start trimming. Till you're the only one standing up straight, winning all.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give up, no, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
You just gotta wanna keep chasing. Put you everything you're facing. Keep up with the pace and adrenaline rush starts racing. Get through all the things you hate in. Don't let the others in charge of your dreams. They just don't know what it takes to be seen. You steer the ship, take control of your team. And if you're alone, then a one-man army. So you better be starving, and you better be carving. Through the hate, keep marching. And every day keep charging ahead till you get what you want, what you dream. Regret is a thing of the past and you'll see that you always had it inside. It's the key to make the most of this life believe.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give up, no, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace, this is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit in a plan and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best teacher system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace, this is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace, this is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Purpose is better than any drug you could ever think. If you know why you're doing something, that's all you need. I wake up ready for the day because I believe in everything that I'm doing like it was meant to be. I get fixated and captivated on learning things. Don't hesitate to ask questions, the answer that I need. It's out there somewhere, I swear I can find the recipe. By testing, learning, and turning into a better me.
Realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace, this is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace, this is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Plausible Gaming Championship Series. It is time for some Counter-Strike here this afternoon. My name is Llama77, and joined alongside me up here in the booth is 2025 Vogue's hottest caster of the year. It's Puffo Bob. Bob, how you doing this afternoon? It's all good.
I mean, it is
good.
what
We got the do up here. We got everybody. We're going good.
Yeah.
And we got Bob back. So now, Bob, how you doing?
I mean, you know, my mic cut off because of all the heat that was coming out of your mouth. And like you said, I mean, we are two of the hottest casters here in this room. And, you know, I can't take all that credit myself. But today, we're going to be having some CS Llama. Normally, personally, I've been here around mostly for PUBG. But Counter-Strike is where I love to find... I feel at home, to say the least. And in the meanwhile, I mean, Llama, you asked me the question. I'll ask it right back. How are you doing?
Phenomenal. I mean, what better way to start off the weekend right than with some esports here? And what better way to start off kind of the end to this season with a great little bit of semifinals? There's no more second chances at this point. We walk into the weekend with 4 teams standing tall. We'll enter tomorrow with just 2. And boy, that best of 5 final tomorrow, to crown our champion is going to be exciting.
But let's talk about the teams. I mean, you said we have 2 great matchups today. And I mean, unlike any we've seen before, as it's going to be Zero Tier facing off against Try Hearts. It's a really good and fun play on the name, you know, Try Hearts, yeah. They're giving it all, and in the meanwhile, I mean, it's going to be a fantastic matchup. Mostly why I'm excited for it is because it's also a best of 3, right? You lose the first map, it doesn't mean it's the end just yet, and well, I'm excited to also see the maps later on. Llama, any opinions on the teams, the icons, or the names? Give it all.
Oh, the icons. I feel like Zero Tier's got a really nice little purple-green thing going, but also Zero Tier is not afraid to be here in the semifinals. They've been here in the past, they've showed up before, and often they're a team that we see making it all the way towards those grand finals. So Tryhards have got a lot in front of them today to try and win this best of 3. But that's why you said it's a best of 3. It's not just a single best of 1 where you're getting maybe an off map and it throws you off your game. All of a sudden, you get your map pick specifically that you've been practicing all season long.
Yeah, but it's interesting because some of these teams, I imagine they not only scrimmed, you know, build up that team chemistry, but at the same time, they were looking out for the enemy team. They were looking at previous VODs, possibly checking out the online stats and going, this is a map they're good at, we're going to ban it out instantly. So while they were competing to get their own maps, they were looking to get rid of their enemies' favorites. And I mean, that's going to be the first matchup. I imagine we're also going to be having a second, but before we get to it, I mean, I am interested in the maps. The second they're going to be revealed, I'm going to be shaking. And Llama, this is going to be a personal question because I have my own takes, but what maps do you or may not want to see?
I know you'll probably disagree with this first one, but I'm an enjoyer of Train. I feel like the openness, the long rotations, and especially just the overall map design. I know I've killed the mood. It's a Bob hatred up here, but Train's one of my favorite. I think if I had to follow that up, I think maybe something a little bit different, maybe along the lines of Anubis, something like Inferno, something that is neutral enough but has enough spice in it to throw off the game.
You know, Inferno, it always reminds me of a bit of banana action, and when the aggression really pops off on Inferno, it is absolutely astonishing. I agree with Anubis, but you know what? To each their own. You know, if we get Train, I won't complain. The only one that I do find a bit boring is going to be, I think we can both agree. I think we can shake hands on it that Dust will not fit in today's matchups, because today's matchups will be anything but non-exciting. It's going to be absolute pop-off, and I mean, besides some aces to expect, maybe some huge plays, of course I want to see how these teams work together, because I mean, CS normally, you know, they say that clicking on heads and pixels is a bit above everything, which is true, but again, how you decide to position, how you decide to go for maybe rotations, overall it all comes into account. And of course, in the meanwhile, we have gotten confirmation of the veto, so let's take a look at it. We're going to slowly go one by one. Llama, I'll do the first, you do the second, and so on. And I mean, the first one to be banned is going to be Ancient.
Yeah, was thinking we might head there, but Anubis, both of the A-lettered ones, they must hate them. They're going to be out. Anubis, Ancient, both banned off the table.
And, well, as you said, Inferno, we love it. Zero Tier heard us out, and that's going to be the first pick of this best of 3, which honestly, I'm all for.
I love it. I think you get that first follow-up, and then we get to head over to Nuke. That'll be our second map selection, where has that kind of high-low play. You never know where the footsteps are coming from, and can aid in those super quick rotations and some very explosive gunfights.
It absolutely is, and as much as it is a community standard that Mirage normally stands out as the most played, that's the next one that ends up being banned, meaning only 2 more remain. And which of the 2 gets banned there in Llama?
Well, it's the one we both hated, so we'll both clap our hands as Dust 2 is thrusted out of the pool as well.
Ooh, and that leaves only one, Train. You got Train, and I cannot believe it, but honestly, I'm excited. You know, maybe that's going to be converting me. Maybe I will not be a Train hater no longer, and these teams are going to be putting me onto the dark side, in my opinion. But still, you know, Train is going to be interesting. We have a fantastic map pool, and can we talk about these maps a bit? You know, how are you liking them so far?
I think I love it. I think you get to start off with Inferno, which at some points can be a little bit more towards the team that picked it, but it goes a little bit more neutral most of the time. Then you go to Nuke, which is a very specialized map. You have to know your lineups. And then I think you go from this crazy roller coaster, and Train is just the final loop-de-loop to send us for a whirl.
All right. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And I mean, we're taking a look at Inferno. This is going to be a very aggressive map, but it has so much rotation potential. I feel like Inferno, it really does have those long angles, but the setups on it are fantastic. You do normally maybe a 3-2 split of players. Two players really have an absolute battle out on Banana. They throw smokes, nades, flashes, all you can think of, while the other three are prepping up apps. They nicely push down mid. They don't reveal themselves, and that just makes for a perfect counterplay. The full rotation comes out, and A is yours. That's what I'm expecting on Inferno. And next going Nuke, I would say this is a bit T-sided. Normally people say it's a bit 50-50, but you know what? I'm expecting whoever is going to be having the T-side first in the first half are going to be the ones reaching a very good split. And that's another risk, right, Llama? You go into it, you have yourself a very good opportunity, a bit more of an overwhelming side, like the T-side on Nuke. And if you can't really pull the majority of the rounds in the first half, it's going to be a bit of a blunder going on to the second, which I hope both of these teams do realize. I imagine they do.
Yeah, you've got to watch each of your sides, and you've got to watch also the rounds, because even though it is that best of three, even if it is your opponent's map pick and you lose one, all of a sudden you're going to have to pull off that reverse sweep. So making sure you set yourself up for success is ideal. And of course, if you want to set yourself up for success, don't forget about Plausible Gaming. If you guys want to experience a non-toxic gaming environment where you guys can ask questions, feel free to play some games, and maybe you want to even earn some prize money alongside of it, well, there's esports tournaments inside of those non-toxic communities.
And, ooh, you know what's even better? If that's not already great enough, today we have a bit of a giveaway ongoing. And not just today, it's going to be going on from today till tomorrow's grand final, where codes will be dropped every now and then. So make sure you're paying attention and staying tuned to join on in. It's going to be in through Gleam. You can also check it out on Twitter. The giveaway is going to be a chunky one, so get yourself some nasty CS2 skins. Get yourself some loot and some bags to claim, because, I mean, personally, I'd want to be getting the AK-45 one.
I want that. I also want the M4. I want all of them. I mean, you guys are going to have to try and battle us too to try and steal away our skins up here. But along with that, if you guys missed any of the action here today, make sure you're checking out the Plausible Gaming YouTube, as they're going to be posting highlights and great clips of today's action. They've not only got their Counter-Strike stuff going on over there, but also the PUBG, as you mentioned. So get a double dose of esports with that content.
Yeah, so in case you end up slipping on a big play, you can go back, rewatch it, and you have yourself double the fun. I mean, again, stay tuned, stick around. This is just about to be the beginning. We're only getting started here, and we're only explaining these teams. We're only getting ready, because the second matchup is also quite a great one. These are going to be teams that are of equal skill, meaning there's rivalry to be expected, and of course, a lot of eye-for-eye action. I mean, neck to neck. You can see this going overtime in most of these maps. Maybe not, but again, crossed fingers, that's all I'm going to say.
I just want all the action. I mean, you said it. If we get some overtime, so be it. That's 6 more rounds is a possibility that we could get to watch. So action is what we want to see for all these teams as well, just trying to push for another set of grand finals. And the great thing is, the PCS isn't going anywhere. We've got more seasons to follow up after this, so if you want to get yourself involved in the Plausible Gaming Championship Series and try to take down some of these teams, well, do it. Get yourself a team together, join on in, and set your sights on those prizes.
Absolutely. And just as we're on that point, we're talking about that prize. These teams have some to claim, and we have ourselves a matchup to begin. And slowly, we're going to be heading right into map number 1, and that's going to be none other than lovely Inferno. Llama, I'm waiting for some action, and of course, I'm going to put you on the spot, Llama. What's your favorite call out on Inferno?
Give me Nanner, man. Give me
yes.
It's got to be the classic. It's got to be the solid one. So we're on in, though. Tryhards versus Zero Tier. Of course, for the Tryhards crew, they're going to be starting on their CT side, while Zero Tier will start on their T side. And Bob, I think it's time to play some Counter-Strike.
I think it is, and we see 4 players right now. No, even maybe more. The entire stack here coming out with Duaka opening us up. A fantastic shot onto plays right through the smoke. Put up top and going to be completely denied. And the pistol already showing absolute aggression for both of these teams, but it doesn't seem like Tryhards can stop them.
3 players are going to rotate back on in and hopefully try and do some due diligence. You talk about stopping them. Well, the health bars are not great for Zero Tier overall, but it's going to be engagement. Thinking about going through the chapel side to try and overwhelm a possible low player scenario, and that's the choice. Flash goes out, Indigo goes in, but it's actually Sharik who takes down 2, and just 1 more to take down. 4 players survive, Zero Tier get their round 1.
Again here, the T side is definitely going to be dominating, although I would have expected a bit more dings from the side of Tryhards. Again, the USPS is so dominant, it's like an AWP in the pistol round. You hit the head, and it's going to be all done and dusted. While in the meanwhile, though, the starting round is going to be allowing a bit more of that eco-stabilization on the T side. We already see some AK action. The back tens don't do the best of damage, but they're definitely better than pistols.
It's something, right? You get yourself a little bit of bonus into this second round. And for Zero Tier, we'll see what the aggression looks like now. Of course, this is a round where, sure, you've got the advantageous in the weaponry category. But if you go too aggressive, if you give over especially one of those rifles, it could seal your doom, especially on this site where the stack is. All 5 players. Win is going to go in. The flash is pop, and there's a death. The first from Tryhard is traded out 2 for 2, and the plat strikes favor Zero Tier.
Hold up, are we about to see the pistols absolutely dominate against Tryhards? They got themselves the first round, they got themselves the weaponry and utility alike. Why are they being halted right on Banana side? That's another. Sharik puts a second one down to trade off against it, but it's a 2 against 1. Quantity over quality. The final ones are holding. You're taking some damage, and you're peeking into too much as Rage Machine takes you out, and just like that, already such in the early beginning, we have an equalization of rounds.
This is what we said was the danger, right? You give over 1, and then it becomes 2, and then it starts to overflow as you give over that weaponry. So you look at the economy, it is shattered here, and the regain is going to have to come through from Tryhards. We'll see what they can do with a actual little bit of an investment. This is what you got to be a little bit worried about as well, because if you lose that second round and then you invest on top of it, and then you lose that round after, it can just keep you in a bad buy position forever.
It really can. That can lead to multiple rounds to be lost, and a mid push right from one of these players. The cheekiness from Indigo going to be paying off more than well, and it's from rags to riches that Zero Tier have overtaken Tryhards in a moment of seconds. Llama, this just went from chaos to even more. That push-up was fantastic, and in the early phase, normally enemies don't expect it. They're thinking, okay, we're still playing a normal game, but all of a sudden, there's someone right up in your face spamming those little bullets, and your entire team is wiped.
I mean, it's such a tough angle to push with really no utility. You just send it, you try and cross the T, dot your I's, and unfortunately you get dotted into the ground. For Tryhards, at least they'll have some rifles here in this one, but you look at the utility, it is down to shambles. I mean, a single HE grenade, a 1 flammable, and 1 flash as well. They're going to have to try and make the most out of this round.
All right, we can take a look at the composition from both of these teams, and the 3-2 split I was mentioning is right about to happen. Now, we do see that Zero Tier aren't going to be falling for it. It's quite a standard procedure that teams on the T side really like to do to set themselves up for an easy plant on A. But then you're going to be forcing yourself on a team fight and a lot of damage onto Stenny, but it's not going to take him out just yet.
This early aggression, though, you take control of apartments and then you try and flex across the rest of the map. You see a little bit of space given over towards Banana. Zero Tier this round recognizing they have the equal weaponry footing. You don't want to give over an early life, especially with so much retake utility in the back pocket. You've got to play a rebel, retaking over towards the cart, but Stanny is flashed away, and Tryhards have got a double kill on their entry.
But it's not going to stop there. Zero Tier will be pushing back for one, but simply just not enough. As the nade is going to be landing onto another, that's where the doom is met. And all of a sudden, the plant is about to be stuck through and through. Down in Destined Zero Tier, with the final two players, they can't hope to compromise. They're already in the post plant and want to save themselves the guns they currently acquired through beating tryhards in their matches, meaning that's going to be the AK and M4A1 is secured with utility on the side, allowing them to possibly maybe bring back the next round and gain back the lead, as tryhards have now locked it in and basically gotten themselves back 2-2.
It'll be an even count here as tryhards. That was a nice little strong push, and I like the patience, because if you go too aggressive there, if you have all of your players die on that right-sided entry, all of a sudden it becomes really tough to actually flex across the rest, and that's going to be for surviving for tryhards as well. I think it's also really cool, Bob, that we get to see some of the player cards, some of the shades rocking from the different ones, and getting to see all the beautiful faces out on the server.
Duaka is really rocking those shades well, and honestly, I'm jealous. I wish I could do it as well as he does, but in the end, tryhards are doing a great performance here. They got back up on their feet, and they're ready to rock and roll. Now, what I love about this 3-2 split is if 3 of your players die, like you said, there's 2 players to save for the bare minimum. Both goes for the both sides, and in the meanwhile, we're going to be switching it up. A bit of a vice versa, as now Banana is going to be mostly... I love how I said banana instead of banana. That's an interesting way to go about it.
It's a new call-out, you know, it's the bottom part of banana, we'll call it. For the flash over top for win. We'll see what they want to do with this kind of delayed push. You get to see Zero Tier. They've invested into this round. Indigo has got a little bit of scoped weaponry to hold that longer angle, and the push down will be interesting to watch to see tryhards. They've still got 70 seconds. It's not like they have a lack of time, but they do have a lack of space right now, and pushing towards this site could send some bodies to the ground with that AWP in play.
Again, Zero Tier sticking to the roots. It all comes down to how well they can win their once. And right now, the ultimatum is about to come out. The op doesn't hit, and the point-and-click adventure is now going to be losing its value. Although for not much longer, one from above, balcony contested, but it's all taken out in an absolute massacre. Although Zero Tier still come out on top with a bloodbath that currently concurred with Duaka, hoping the Shades can really carry him to victory.
AWP was enough as kind of a distraction. We'll see if these 3 players can clean it up from Zero Tier and then maybe pick up that expensive weapon. And it's just a nice little shot. Freyez will do the final kill. 3 survive. And Zero Tier take back their round. Those 2 rifles they saved over, ever critical, so they could buy that AWP.
A lot of safety from both of these teams. Now, we are seeing that it's kind of equal. We're not seeing 5, 4, 3 rounds in a row. No. They are going band for band, both of these teams. And what makes it so interesting is that these rounds aren't necessarily as close as you'd imagine. All of these teams tend to play safe to reserve some of their economy into the later rounds and to reserve a bit of a long run. But I guess that's going to be getting put to an end as Breeze and Rage Machine completely wipe out 3, traded it off to a 2, but tryhards are still in the minus with Puckshol and Nikito's the only ones left to remain.
Just some perfect flashing. I mean, that fire was great from tryhards to not cut off the full massacre. The mural re-entry not going to be entered quite yet. And you talk about, although it is only 2 players, it's 2 players on this T side, so you can stack up together the slow rotation over from Indigo with that big old scoped weapon to try and shut down a nice angle, but it's going to be a smoke off, making sure to deny that spawn side and maybe pushing Indigo into a rough position. They don't want to walk through. Sending out a smoke of their own will cut them off. 60 seconds left to go, and the mural could be the hero, or it could be the villain on the other side. It's Indigo that waits on the other side and just takes their shot. It's a denial through spawn, a shot that connects, and now an isolated 3v1 that Pugs wins the first.
Pugs finding an op in that. It was quite miraculous, although he's finished off by none other than Lemural you talked about. The true ending hero in Zero Tier are now actually going to be starting, or rather, my mistake, tryhards. We had to swap them out just for a second, but we're all back online. Tryhards, in that moment, got themselves a 2-round lead. This is going to be a great way to keep it up, and if they can have this consistency, it's going to be great. But that's the exact same reason we're going to be seeing a T timeout from the side of Zero Tier. They don't want to allow it. They want to reset this adrenaline surge that tryhards have been feeling, and they want to put them out on a bit of a fuse. Although, we're going to have to see how that works out because, again, when it comes down to these 2v3 positions and the enemy team doesn't have full information on where you currently stand, you can play a lot of mind games, but that smoke going towards spawn side completely gave it off, and Zero Tier sadly could not prevail.
Good to take a look at our map selection here as well at the bottom of your screen. Inferno, where we're currently at. Nuke will be our secondary pick, and then Train if necessary. A good little best of 3. And as a reminder, tomorrow the grand finals will be a best of 5, so only 2 maps will be removed from our pool. Only one of these 2 teams can make it to that grand final. We've also got another best of 3 just after this one.
And while we're already here, we have some codes, Llama. Are we ready to maybe drop the first one, do you think? Do you think it's good enough right now? I think it is. We're about like a third away. So let's do the first code for your entry into the giveaway. It's going to be Flash Peak Frenzy. FLASHPEEKFRENZY. I'm not going to say it again because I'm going to stutter. But keep in mind that you can enter it in as a secret code and get yourself some extra points for the giveaway.
Get yourself involved for the M4, the AK giveaway that's just today. Like we said, we've got some giveaways for tomorrow and as well for the grand finals. But Indigo's giving away some shots with an early opener onto the Zero Tier walk-in. It's going to be a nice little setup, though. A take from Tryhards is going to be kind of a reversal. Zero Tier have reversed what they've wanted, and Tryhards have really just put this all the way through and through.
Tryhards, they have all the heart, and that's going to be a flat line onto 2. Zero Tier losing more, and that's just casualties not to be named. Shurik another to fall, and just like that, Duaka, like we've talked about him, he sees black and white, and in the meanwhile, Tryhards are burning bright, as now only one remains with Deagles and Hopes, but Lemire puts him down, and Tryhards with their 3rd round in a row. That tactical timeout really not stopping them.
They've pushed through everything. They've been able to set up just success after success, being able to walk their way in. And honestly, getting to see those early kills snowball into something better, not allowing those entries of the pistols to do any damage, just allows you to build up your economy. Already up to $4,000, $5,000, $7,000 for Stan E. The rest of the team here of Zero Tier have to be cautious about how much damage they're doing, and early on, Nikotos is going to be the first to fall.
Oh, and it's going to hurt even more because this is going to be the bonus round from Zero Tier. This is what they're relying on to win through. And they've already lost 2, 3, 4 players. The last one as well. And Rage Machine truly robotic, mechanical. And let me tell you, this man is not to be stopped in his tracks because he just wiped out 3 out of the 5 and 3 more to remain. And just like that, that bonus round that was so reliant on by the side of none other than good old Zero Tier was just lost. Now they're going to be forced back onto pistols. Another round is going to be lost due to it. And it just goes down this deep, deep rabbit hole.
And incredible to see even on the replay how that one shook out. A straight transfer of a lifetime. And then just moving to the right side, tracking those bullets through the volumetric smoke. Tryhards are up to 6 here. Zero Tier with only the 2. Of course, sometimes it can be a little bit harder here on the T side to pick up some rounds walking in. If you don't have the setups or don't have the players, you set it back to pistols. Some Tech 9s trying to feel it out fine. Tryhards, they've got the rifles. They've got the location. Stanny's going to wait for the flash and burn them down.
Oh, Tryhards were swinging just at the right time, just at the right moment, in the right place to get themselves a 5-round lead out of nowhere. For a second, we were thinking this was going to be the rivalry of a lifetime, but Tryhards have put Zero Tier onto a second forced timeout. And I mean, this is going to be already 0 out of 3 remaining. They have been flushing them down the drain just because of how well Tryhards have been playing. We can even see in the replays, they swing in when they know it's comfortable. They get themselves when Zero Tier is completely discombobulated, and they pick him off one by one until only one remains. And that's how the story goes.
Get you some teammates like Tryhards has. Get you the teammates that'll flash at a perfect time for the swing out. But another forced timeout. 0 out of 3 tac timeouts remaining for Zero Tier here. So trying to invest them. The good news is they've got the full loss bonus. It's not a good news to have lost those rounds, but now you've still got money. You've got a round where you need to win it. Or else, I mean, Tryhards have already guaranteed themselves a half victory. If you give them 9 or 10 rounds, you're talking about almost an impossible comeback when you switch sides.
Yeah, there we go. The tack time is going to be finished. We're back into the buy phase, and that means that we're going to be allowing us, and of course, maybe a change of pace here. Let's see it. I mean, tryhards have been ruling over this for quite a long. Now, this is going to be definitely a bit more CT-sided if you do ask me. We can clearly tell by the result as well. What Zero Tier are going to be relying on to gain most of the rounds in, but try to close the distance between the value of rounds the enemy team has and yourself as much as you can by getting kills just like these. Pushol with a beginning and a burn just onto the second as Rage Machine simply can't escape the fire.
I like that setup play. I mean, you finally got utility, it feels like, for Zero Tier. I'm assuming they called that out in the timeout. We want to go for a stack play on Banana, but guess what? Indigo's back, just walking through and killing bugs through the smoke, layering everything on top, and we'll actually back up to a little bit of safety. This anchor position in spawn for Indigo is flexible. You can go to A, you can go to B, you can kind of stick around, but it is going to be Zero Tier with time and the player advantage.
Look, if I was Zero Tier here in this position, I'd want them to play a bit more aggressive. I've been seeing them so passive and on the back end that honestly give tryhards enough time to compose themselves, get themselves the right headspace they need just to counteract Zero Tier's strategy. And currently, look at it. The teams have completely rotated, tryhards have caught on to it, and as long as they cross-hold this correctly, it will be a massacre, but it could possibly pivot them. Now, it depends on how utility is going to be used, and just we talk about it, it's going to be a refrag game you need to find yourself in, leading up to this 2v1 with a post-plant about in any second.
I like that early smoke, too. It cuts off the possible angles Indigo can go on. Nikatos has got the AWP. But it's going to be close range. Sees the shoulder blade, misses the shot, and turns around with the dagger. It's not quite over yet. The flames, the nade, everything still available for Indigo with still a flash to pop. He's going to boot it now, and it pushes away that AWP. Seeing the barrel, but it doesn't matter, as Duakas get the kill, and Zero Tier uses the timeout to its success.
And numbers as well. They got those two opening frags thanks to none other than Puxel. Yes, the exchange came out, but 2 for 1, that's a deal of a lifetime. It's a discount. Go for Black Friday if you call me. And in the meanwhile, we got ourselves this 4v3, which they worked off of perfectly. They went on to side with a lot of aggression. They knew as long as they just refragged one off of another, if trades were to pivot them, they could come out as the winners. So they did. The winning position was there too. And with the 2v1, I mean, they possibly couldn't lose, especially with the op on deck.
Nikatos has got that saved over. It feels like Indigo is going to be on a high noon duel. That scoped weaponry looking towards each other, and with only 2 rounds left to go in the half, both teams could desperately use some more. Zero Tier not trying to call on the 9-3 curse, because that would be a lot of rounds to try and regain together. Even though it is a curse, I'd much rather have 6 rounds.
I'm not messing with any bad juju vibes in here. We're gonna have to keep it right down to how well these players can do. And Zero Tier, yes, maybe they're 4 rounds below, but they still have 2 to back it up. And if we can get a 7-5 split here, it's gonna be ideal for them. That's what they're looking into, and it's gonna be their, some may even say, their silver bullet into going into it. And a beautiful shot there from Indigo takes out Punctual, and that's just gonna be the opening.
Tryhards have been here. They know what it means to win. They've been in the semifinals every season of the PGCS. It feels like, though, right now, they've got a pivotal round in front of them. A 3v4 with 30 seconds to go. And AWP is looking the wrong way until Indigo turns the corner. Burns one, and the other side is falling apart. It's got to be a 4v1 with the AWP. It's possible. And even more once the first shot is hit. But no, the Wild West duel victory from Indigo. And tryhards a guaranteed 8.
Oh, that was rough. That was hard hitting, but no, not needing to rely on the 9-3. I think it's going to be having to pass it down to that line. Although, this time around, maybe we're going to have to rely on these opening picks. Opening picks have been a bit of a trouble here for Zero Tier in general. We've been seeing tryhards come out with double, triples, out of complete nowhere, even if it was a single kill, and it ended up throwing Zero Tier off balance just enough to completely get themselves an easy push in. Now the CT side are gonna be unreleasing some hell here on Bananas. All 5 players, just like in the pistol rounds, looking to go down one single line.
just trying to stay together at this point, just trying to play off of each other, and Rage has got the first, and Frias has got another. There's the bolster up from Indigo that cuts off the spawn side angle, and Frias is just gonna go spraying. You got a package delivery. It's an up shot to the body. Indigo doubles, and that's all she wrote for the half. Tryhards get 9.
Okay, that's going to be a really solid beginning here for Tryhards. And again, in the very end, we saw how quick they are on the move. The second they have a bit of that presence, the bit of that sixth sense coming in, that B is going to be the primary objective, they instantly get on the move on. Some of these players from Tryhards weren't even there when the main action was unfolding, and Zero Tier aren't looking at the right cubbies and corners, which gets them not only distracted, doesn't let them know which certain angle they should prioritize. And in the end, I mean, Tryhards just completely come out swinging, get themselves easy picks. But now we're back to the pistol llama.
We've swapped those sides up. We've got the pistol. Tryhards, they've made it to semis before. They made it to every semis. They made it to some grand finals, and they want to repeat that action. Push for Dwaka. They've got a tough angle to peek across the barrels, and it's straight through them that the burn comes down. And now it's awkward for when you have to hold against a possible onslaught. The good news is for Tryhards, they're not done. They're flexing across every side of the map, and sure is dead. It's down to Lamiro, who is going to go for the trade onto Nikatos. Or not. Just playing the patience, pulling and pushing these players. I mean, Pugs just doesn't know where to go.
Priest is doing some 360s in his own corner. He's feeling the confidence, but Tryhards definitely have nothing but it. As currently, there are 2 players above, with utility still out, jump shotting it in and looking for some winged on action. And currently, without any flank potential, Zero Tier are going to have to simply rely on brute force, which is simply not the way to go about, especially on this pistol round. If Zero Tier lose this, then they potentially lose the second. It's already going to be 11-3, which is a very, very down-bringing score.
They do have the defusal kit, that helps. But boy, they have no more utility. There are 2 flashes on the Tryhard side. They can just wait or just kill them anyways. Bugs is going to move in. Brute force isn't going to work. It's trades. It's working. And Win is dead. Tryhards have got 10 of their own brute force combined with a spice of patience.
Let's cut some times. Cut some times, okay? Double digits have been hit here by the side of none other than Hearts, and they're working to the very bone. Currently, they have gotten a fantastic beginning on the T side. They possibly can win this next one unless Zero Tier are going to be bringing out some Tech 9. Not even Tech 9, they're on the CT side. That's going to be a bit more difficult, but they're going to need some MP9 miracles if they want to roll that natural D20 and get up to a comeback. Now, it's definitely not impossible, but chances are going to be slim. Tryhards have been shady, and they've been looking like an absolute performance buster on Inferno.
The other problem is you risk a lot here. I know you're down 7 rounds, but if you don't win this round, I mean, look at the funds for Zero Tier. Nobody's over $200, and you already lost Nikatos, who has been one of your step-up players. 5 kills already throughout the day today. Indigo's going to be holding and just waiting. I mean, this patience has pushed Zero Tier into this uneasy position, over-rotating onto the B site, holding 3 there with 1 on the spawn side connector. Now they finally go back, but Frias has got the rotate in, but it's the trade. Indigo, a 2-for-1 Tryhards. Lose the majority there.
That's good. That is fantastic here. It comes out for another. The Galil is going to be claiming a second victim there. Tryhards are looking dominant. But so they continue as Waka's going to be the lonely left one standing here amidst all 3 sharks ready to bite down on him. He's in the hungry waters. He's bleeding out. He's the last one remaining. And the headshot does connect Stani with the final few bullets. Emptied out the majority of the magazine, but gets it nonetheless. And Tryhards, 1 round away from match point, 2 rounds away from certain victory within regulation, and still about 8 rounds ahead of their opponents. It's a rough start here.
I'd also like to remind ourselves and the viewers at home, this was Zero Tier's map pick as well. So we're going on to Nuke next as a guarantee, but that is Tryhard's pick, and you don't usually pick Nuke unless you're very, very good at it. But just so much space taken through apartments there. I love the angles and the patience, again, that's spliced in. Zero Tier are going for the classic 4-man pistol stack.
In defense of Zero Tier, it is CS2 tradition that everyone in a best of 3 ends up taking each other's maps. So you know what? I'm going to be hoping that ends up being the case here, because tryhards have already seemed like they have ran the race of Zero Tier as of current. And while though the T side is getting quite cheeky about it on Banana, and this major pistol hold from 2-3 players, actually it's a full 4-stack here we have. A Caterpillar of Doom looking to absolutely dominate anyone peeking into it, which means tryhards can just rotate mid-side, get themselves the easiest plant on A, and put Zero Tier against match point.
It's just so good. I mean, it's a smoke on top of it. They've smoked out both of the angles. Zero Tier, they'll get a couple spray down bullets, but that's it. Pugs will have to do really early before anybody tries to walk on in, and they're just going to wait it. The Caterpillar from behind just going to try and do some damage in their defense. If tryhards do lose these rifles, they don't have a ton of money left, but they're up just so many rounds. Briez is going to hold under the scaffolding. It's a double from Stanny. Combine it with the third. Pulls out the pistol for the double kill. And it's no match for this tryhards offense, ripping through a flawless round.
It was a gamble. They didn't hit the jackpot. Zero Tier were hoping that the entirety of Hearts, tryhards were gonna completely rush it down onto B, right? That was the hope. And if it would have happened, maybe the pistols could have dealt some fatal blows. But in the end, the fact that you went off of that 50-50 alone didn't prevail. And now you're up against match point. It's definitely not gonna be the best mood swing here for Zero Tier's side. Definitely not gonna be looking like the best mental players. But currently Breeze is gonna be just nicely walking through the smoke, not given a care in the world where he currently is. All he feels is the dreams and ambition ready to pop off, just like that AK-47, whose bullets, let me tell you, they've been hitting some shots from tryhards.
They really just feeling good. You look at the kill counters. I mean, Indigo's up to 17. A possibility of a 20 bomb and just maybe even 16 rounds would be incredible to think about. But for tryhards, they are stalled out here. It feels like for the first time in a while. They've got 65 seconds to burn. And realistically, they want to lean over here towards Banana, flexing some players over towards A, but it just feels like not a ton of space. You look at the resources they invested early on, they're only down to 2 flashes. The big news is they've got 3 smokes, so they can block off a lot of vision.
Yes, they can, but Zero Tier, this is going to be a gamble, and oh, the bonus is already going downhill. Senny puts an end to 1. It's going to be a first one for the grave, a second one to follow quickly, and Zero Tier have lost their composure as only one stands on B. A lone man standing can't connect those shots and completely overwhelmed by the guns and bullets swinging in left, right, and center. This is the possible final. 2 to remain, and unless they can clutch up against a full 5-stack from tryhards, which are on their prime time, it will be a difficult one. Time is ticking, so are the players. Puckshol is lost. 1 for Shurik to make sure it's not flawless. A second to follow, but he doesn't have the bullets. The downside of the M4A1S brings him down. And just like that, in a very dominating fashion, tryhards will be taking map number 1. But Llama, I mean, that was just the beginning. I don't think that was all we can see. I think tryhards, you know, they're going to be having a bit more difficulty on Nuke, even though it is their own map. You know what? I still see Zero Tier coming out with a possible second.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be really, really fun. We get to see that second map. And honestly, for tryhards, I'm excited to see what they're going to do in terms of that next map, because their fluidity in their game plan was lovely to see. Their split aparts where they weren't just sending 5 players to one site. They were splitting up and they were winning both of the sides of the map.
Absolutely. And well, just like that, so these players can rest, so you can as well. So our voices get a bit of that snoring, I guess you could call it. I don't know. Get hydrated. That's what you should do as well. We're going to be taking it to a short break, and we'll be right back with you.
You could call me POTUS, I got all the voters.
I swear to God, I've been at it for a minute. Climbing to the top, and this music was my ticket. Found a way to grind, turn a passion to a business. Don't limit, I'ma get it, having millions as a witness. I'm addicted to winning, living up every single day. I'll be fighting and building up in a million different ways. I don't think I can stop, I think I need the chase. I love the race, and I'm running till I'm first place. Long nights, long flights, I'ma make it big. Big dreams, big sights since I was a kid. Doing things that I like, let the pieces fit. I like the pain, feel alive when I'm under it. I could change the depth obstacles, they looking see-through. Don't let the anger out, just let it feed you. I'll see you at the top, just let me teach you.
Yeah, I'ma be a high roller, move forward in the battle like soldier. In the game like closer, I'll be at the top of the chain, straight owner. Yeah, I got a different motive, I don't need any help, I'm alone. You'll be seeing my name on posters. You could call me POTUS, I got all the voters.
They be like, really, you got a milli from doing something silly? I'm like, chilly, I've been killing for decades now, Billy. Well, maybe like several years, but who's counting really? I just know how to turn something silly into a milli. Got a lot to say, and a lot need to hear it. You don't quit today, we don't stop, no, we feel it to the top. Yeah, we change our whole world, yeah, we steer it. Getting lost in the things that make us unworth hearing on. I'm the first one to turn up, learn stuff, but mostly I'm just in the lab getting work done. Cause the bills on the first, they still worth some. I never forget being broke, man, it hurts, son. But not as bad as not having any purpose. I took stabs, this and that, and it's working. But I still grind every day for that thirst. It's a curse being first, yeah, still gotta get my work done.
Yeah, I'ma be a high roller, move forward in the battle like soldier. In the game like closer, I'll be at the top of the chain, straight owner. Yeah, I got a different motive, I don't need any help, I'm a loner. You'll be seeing my name on posters. You could call me POTUS, I got all the voters.
Yeah, let's go. New year, new me, turn it up a new degree. I'm gonna make it to the top if it's the last thing I see. Work.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Plausible Gaming Championship Series, here for our semi-final Saturday, where we've got two best-of-threes, and we'll crown two grand finalists. Tryhards with one heck of a dominating opening map on, by the way, their opponent's map pick. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Llama77, still Puffo Bob alongside me, and Bob, it was a fun one to watch, but definitely a little bit more one-sided at the start.
We can't sugarcoat it, can we? It was about 13-4. I mean, look, Zero Tier gave it their best. They certainly did. We saw some opportunities. Some of them ended up being close, but some just won't be enough to really put it. And in the end, as much as they coulda, woulda, shoulda, they have to prove themselves onto map number 2, which isn't going to be theirs. And like you said, the one thing I'm going to agree, as much as I can hope the CS2 curse really tends to work out for them, so we can end up seeing Train. Nuke is a map you need to know. With a lot of pre-lineups, with a lot of angles, you need to go for pre-fires on many spaces, especially on outside, especially when it comes down to ramp. There are a lot of angles on Nuke that you just simply need to know really confidently, and maybe, just maybe, Zero Tier ended up allowing Tryhards to pick it because they knew they were going to be able to dominate them on it, but we're going to have to let actions speak louder than words, Llama.
Yeah, I think so, and I think for Zero Tier as well, this is going to really put them under a microscope. It's not only Nuke is a map where you've got to know your lineups, but you've got to be really quick about your decision making. Those rotations on either side of the map are very, very quick. If you find an opening, you need to take it, because if you don't take those 5 seconds, it's a reposition and you've lost that space. And when you look on the other side for Tryhards, their communication and teamwork was flawless. They were able to execute on multiple different parts of the map at once, perfect utility lineups, and those flashes to combo together. But also was the reason, we were kind of talking off in the break, that they had utility as well for Tryhards. Their money situation was so good, even after losing that round number 2.
Absolutely. I mean, it is what it is, but you talked about it. T-side needs to be quick on the rotations, and CT as well, you know, because T-side has really accessible spots from both of them. They can push container, they can push red, and get themselves an easy rush down onto bottom, onto B, while A is just the similar position. So again, both these teams really need to be quick on their move, and as much as we didn't necessarily see that from any of these teams, because Inferno is a bit more slow-paced. It takes till the very last, I would say, 30 minutes. It's a lot of prep, a lot of bait, a lot of mind games, and till that very end phase, nothing really happens. Maybe some triple kills, maybe a lot of rushes like we saw, but that's about it, right? On Nuke, it's action the second people spawn in. At the snap of your finger, you can already see heads flying off. And well, I'm excited for it, but you know what I'm also excited for? Plausible Gaming. I'm excited for more Plausible Gaming action because not only did we get brought in today to watch all of these fantastic teams face off, you can too. You can join in this beautiful community, non-toxic by the way, and in the meanwhile, enjoy yourself some competitiveness, get along with some friends, meet new people, and of course, compete just like all these people are. So, I mean, Llama, is there a bad thing about it?
No, I mean, and maybe you are a solo player like, man, Bob, I don't got a team. How am I going to play Counter-Strike without a team? Well, the good news is for you, we've got a great looking for group section that you can find a team, get better together, and start to place yourself in some of these tournaments. Of course, not only do we have Counter-Strike, but also PUBG as well. So 2 different game titles, same goal here with that non-toxic community. And of course, maybe you're someone that missed some of the action here today. Well, you should go subscribe over towards the Plausible Gaming YouTube channel, where the best clips and highlights are going to be posted from not only our Counter-Strike, but from our PUBG as well.
Absolutely. So if you miss out anything here today, you're sure as not going to miss it out on there. And in the meanwhile, I mean, Llama, how dare us forget? For anyone that's been patient, for anyone that's been staying tuned, and of course, being just as beautiful as to watch us yap, we're going to be dropping, I think, maybe, just maybe we're ready for another code. Do you think the viewers, the audience is ready for a second code of the giveaway? Because if you aren't aware, there are 2 giveaways that will be happening through today till tomorrow, semifinals till grand finals. It's for an AK-47 and for an M4A1S skin, meaning you can acquire yourself some quite good drip in CS2 if you may. And we've got some codes, some secret codes to get you in. But of course, before we drop the code, stay tuned to hear it once it is. And in the meanwhile, Llama, we're going to be heading into the first round of map number 2, Nuke.
Well, it's one of my personal favorite maps in the whole entire game. You get a really unique setup. You get a really different showcase. And for tryhards, we'll get to see their T side again. Zero Tier must win this map if they want to stay alive in the best of 3. And it starts with Pugs, who's going to be dueling on the outside of Red Box.
Absolutely. They need these. They need the second map. Otherwise, it's going to be all done and dusted. And, well, tryhards are going to be coming out 2-0 in the best of 3. That's just not what we want to see. But what we love to see is Preez, who's been consistent with his fragmentations from map number 1, already on to map number 2. Rage Machine not going to be excluded. Neither Indigo, as all of a sudden, Zero Tier have found themselves with only 2 players remaining.
Their pistol rounds have just been deadly, hitting their shots, working everything together, and it feels like now for Duaka and Shurik, it's going to be a really tough 2v5. The one solace is Stan. He is a little bit low, who is tied for first in overall kills on that tryhard side, but it doesn't matter who we talk about. They've all got the killing potential. Duaka's gonna go for the 1v1 and takes the headshot in the process, but now they know your location. USP's ready to deal some silence blows to the dome, through the wall, through the knife, pull it out and go for it. Oh, why not? The knives are out and stabby stab indeed. Tryhards get it by Duel of Daggers.
Duel of Daggers. Call it London, call it whatever you must, but this was some shank-on action, and in the very end, just like that, we get ourselves the opening round. That's an interesting way of going about it. Corner your enemy from pure fear, from pure grief and dread, and stab him to death. And that's CS2 fashion, if anyone else. Tryhards with the opening round, and already so early on, they've acquired themselves artillery that is unmatched compared to Zero Tier, who are still having to force themselves onto USPSs mostly, besides the Deagle and Duaka.
At least it's not a full infest this time around. However, we did see Zero Tier last time around able to get some kills, force it away, deal some damage, but Indigo is the only one splattering some blood on the wall. Alongside their teammate, Shurik is going to get one back. But of course, where they died, that's not a super accessible weapon, and the nade alongside the Mac Daddy of them all deals it into a 4-2 combo. Stanny's back up top. The rotations are quick, just like we talked about, and now they know the final position. Shots are too easy for the AK. Tryhards flawless in their 2 rounds.
It's not the greatest beginning, although this is going to be a T-sided map. I mean, look, I'm going to be completely honest. As much as it is T-sided, the route that currently this map has been taken and these players have been going it's still looking really solid from the side of tryhards. Now, Zero Tier can rely on the second half, but they're going to be going into it similarly to how they did previously, such as a 9-3 or anything similar like it. I imagine it's not going to be the best of mood swings, and well, Stanny already coming out very strong.
To see those early kills. Again, these early round rotations, even though they lose rage, look at how much space they got. They open it up with another kill from Stanny. That one's a headshot through the door, but the trade back through the smoke is nice. We'll count that through the smoke. Not really. That smoke technically up above. A cloud up top as Priez rains on their parade. Nikito, Shurik. It's just the duo that has to do it all with those M4s.
All right, 2 against 2. And it's looking a bit more even. Zero Tier, if you want to get back up on your feet, now's the time to do so, because tryhards will surely be stopping you in your tracks, just like they have been up until this very point. And up from above, call this man Batman, but Shurik is ready to drop on down and get some absolute massacre in. Although they say Batman doesn't kill, that's why we have Shurik on the job, because they're ready to drop some frags, get that KD up. And although it depends to how tryhards expect it, because this is surely an off angle, some may call it, and they're walking right into his trap. He has the position off of both, but he's looking at the wrong angle. Priez catches him off guard, and just like that, tryhard says yet again, leveraged it onto their own side with a final kill going into Priez.
That's just a tough way to go. That's the problem, though, about Nuke. If you don't have the player advantage on that CT side, you just lose positioning. You get to see the mistiming, and we'll get to see that reduel. Stanny's first headshot is beautiful, but the space they take, again, they funneled everybody back inside the A site. They had a chance to flex back to B. It focused this Zero Tier defensive side to rotate through and through, and they didn't know where anybody was. The silence of the music, the silence of the lambs here, and tryhards have led them to the slaughter.
And it's going to be looking like another similarity coming about, especially because there is a revolver from one of these players. Stanley takes out Duaka, who went in above all standards to pull out one of the worst guns in CS2, I would argue. And in the end, yet again, side going to be completely overwhelmed, although the entirety of Rafters up above, completely contested. A shot from the op. It doesn't come through, and Stanley's taken out. Indigo still not holding in right, and Zero Tier are back on their prime.
They've got 2 rifles now. All of a sudden, this round changes, and you look to maybe Indigo to try and clutch their way on up. The good news is, if you just send it down those secret stairs, and Priez kind of lurks around to do some lurking damage, when he's going to look for the long-range shot through the door, but won't quite find the timing. Indigo's going to go for the full clear. Priez finds the headshot. This lurk is so deadly, denying the ladder climb down into the vents. Now it's a 3v3. Deagle pre-fire doesn't go, but the second one does. Lamiro trades a 1-for-1. And now it's a 2v2, but look at the health bars. It's not favored for tryhards.
No, it's not. And just like that, they dropped it yet again. Such a good position Zero Tier are currently standing on. But all of a sudden, in the recent moments, tryhards have yet again flipped the cards. And it's a 2 against 1, with earlier not even involving a similar position. Nikito's the last one trying to creep and crawl around the corner. But as much as he's approaching lobby, his sense has been given away. The deagle for the final, it's cheekiness, and it's punished. The AK picked up, and this is a possibility. A single bullet will be enough to finish the job, but time is ticking, and it's a virtue you don't want to be spending too much, as there it comes, Nikitos, making sure Zero Tier come out with at least 1 round out of the 4 they currently played, and tryhards could have done it again, if, of course, we didn't see a bit of that deagle pull out.
Clutch comes in, and I mean, even more than the deagle kind of panic, it was also 0 damage done on that first engagement. When your 100 health player does nothing to the opponent in that 2v1, it just changes up the factor. That first shot was beautiful, and I think for tryhards, you take solace and you got the bomb down. The money's gonna be perfectly fine, but a nice little clutch up, and Nikitos has been a standout player. That might be the confidence they need to push them over the line.
Might just be. It's 1 round alone. We need to keep it up. Not just 1 at extra. Like the dominoes, we should see tryhards fall to the hands of Zero Tier. And just like the beginning, we need to see an ending. And Rage Machine just coming on with the deagle up close. The op won't be the comfort pick for battles like such. And like it, allowing it accessing such easy points down to that bottom B. Allowing Zero Tier to be completely left down to the final 2. Fighting against the puck shoal. Does get 1 puck in the hole. While Lemire falls, there's still 4 more to contest. And 2 definitely won't be enough to fight them all again. Stanley with a swing, and Dwaka with the last one, carrying that M4A1S, hoping to keep it for the next.
Trying to survive whatever they can over to the next round. Tryhards, I mean, talk about the one guy that has a pistol, kills your opper, and then Frias is just popping off like they have been all day long. I mean, Frias is on 7 kills, tied for first in that marker, and it's going to force a tactical timeout.
We're seeing another. Hopefully, this time things can change about, but as much as we're hoping, as much as we're crossing our fingers, and as much as we're dreaming, we need to wake up and snap back to reality. Zero Tier, you've already been sent off. Gravity's no longer working, and it seems like they've tripped in the very beginning. This Inferno has taken its toll onto the second map, and this is the time to get back your composure. Although the gameplay in general, and economy, statement, positioning, it all seems off. We just need a bit of that groove on action to counteract Tryhards, who, yet again, like you mentioned, Llama, have seemed flawless.
They've been very, very good. And the good news is, I mean, this is their map pick, but also they're up 1 map. I mean, if things go wrong here, if they find a way to lose it, they still know they have that safety net. So Zero Tier, that second timeout worked a lot better than their first one. Hoping they can find whatever it is they need to talk about, because the timeout is done, and they are left with pretty much nothing. Even on a 3-round loss bonus, it's going to be another pistol round that they have to invest in too.
Let's take a look at both of these sides. Left on no money, Zero Tier will be going pistols, not trying to risk it, rack themselves up some cash and fill in the piggy bank. While Tryhards are looking rich, they're looking golden, still fully optimizing whatever they can use and have full inventory on them, but a full push completely punished, not enough bullets, but that's where Standy comes in, and 2 players taking out 4. That's value for Tryhards. Indigo to put in the final puzzle piece and finish out the full team roster for Zero Tier, who have just been put 6 foot under.
Zero Tier does get 2 kills, which is a little bit of consolation damage and kills to go their way, but rounds are such a resource you really can't give over. And at this point, the stack up kills going phenomenally. Frias just holds that right-sided angle and sets up for the rest of the team to burn down through as well. Beautiful kills back. Tryhards on to 5. We'll see how much more they can get.
It's rough, right? But that was the best possible option. With pistols, you want to play it close. You want to go in for these unexpected gunfights. And well, Zero Tier certainly tried it, but trying simply wasn't enough. We need to commit a bit more, while Tryhards right now are holding it down. They're going for these presumed shots, trying to really gas it out. And currently, as everything around them seems to be smoked, we do have an exchange between the two. Tryhards finally having a loss of 1 player. Zero Tier make it 4v4 as if it were from the beginning. Now we just need to see who can acquire the next, and that's where our answer comes out as Winky finds Prize, who is the prized possession Tryhards were holding up until now.
It's an awesome little step out kill and even upgrades to the AK, but Rage is going to be watching the over-aggression. This time it's no extra kill gained, and unfortunately for Dwaka, the health bar is down to 11. Shurek not too great either, but for Tryhards, they play it very patient. They've got some space underground. The question is going to be, where do they put this AWP? Because you can send it back to clear off that B long, but Indigo is searching. Indigo is up the ramp side, but Nikotos has got the swap up to the M4, and Rage Machine is going to have to do a lot. Nade goes flying by the head, but it's all about timing. He checks it first. It's the up-down play, and Nikotos goes massive.
Sends that head flying right off its shoulders. And Tryhards now facing the difficulties that Zero Tier have found themselves in multiple times over and over with 15 seconds, and nonetheless, Molly right in front of him, and unless Stanley can walk over the fire and the flames just like Jesus did on water, Zero Tier will be keeping themselves a second round in the pocket. That's going to be 3 away now, so let's start closing in the gap, shall we?
I like it. Let's cut down the rounds. Let's give us some guaranteed more to watch. And honestly, Winky that round, perfect. Even though they die in that second over-aggressive peak, you cut down what could have been a door entrance play to blow open your entire game plan. Getting to see that kill and then the follow-up on the low HP player. Sure, you die to this AWP, but it all works out. Nikotos, their double kill, massive as well. And it's not quite done for Zero Tier. Their economy survives.
survives through another day. And look at this. That's going to be the tryhards we love to see. And no, but this time around, Zero2 are putting their foot down. And not only are they putting them down, some players as well are being put into the grave. Tryhards have been flatlined. 3 of the players. Same goes for Zero2. It's an equalization between the two when the man count is established. But Lemire makes sure that it pivots none other than the T side itself. As side overtaken, Duaka with the up. Not the best gun to have in a 1v2, but if you can click the head or even the body of just one single standalone player, you're going to be able to suffice for the second just about as well.
That's perfection from tryhards too. They nade out the smoke, they push him away, and then flame for flame to deny some of that space. And realistically, you still got that one flash, now it's gone. Push around the angle, the close range here, shooting at a teammate maybe, a little bit of solo damage, but it's the knife again! Are you kidding me? Daggers dueling ×2!
Not like this! He snuck behind him! Oh, and he went for the Ezio backstab. That was just ungranted. Zero2 didn't even know him, and tryhard's already stabbing him in the back, both metaphorically and physically in the game. A 6-2 back on the lead, and already securing themselves a draw in the first half. That's going to be good, but let's make it better, tryhards. Well, Zero2, I mean, they've been shutting it down for those two. We really need to up the ante.
Gotta keep going even more. Slowly growing at the table, and Rage and Friez and Lemire. That's a no-scope headshot, by the way. How about 2? Who needs scopes when you've got dastardly aim? It's gonna be a work back, though. Nikatos, the clutch master, looking for the hold, but once again, oh boy. Oh, he just doesn't know. Finally looks up top, but doesn't have the long-range weaponry to do it. A funny round, but tryhards get lucky number 7.
Indigo playing with his food. Something we've seen before, something we'll see again, and that op doing crazy work. A double kill, but both considered to be no scopes is probably one of the luckiest moments I have ever seen. That is definitely a 1-for-1, but in the end, Zero2 here, they're not going to be profiting off of it. Tryhards, again, looking to have a similar performance like they did previously. Maybe that start game on the attack, or rather the T side, isn't as golden, but it still ends up going to a similar score, and right up from Silo, that's a double-triple. All of a sudden, Stanny has put them all down. The knife for the last onto your teammate, and a finishing blow. Tryhards have truly delivered what is to be called a coup de grace.
Golly, just blow after blow. You can't stop them, and I feel like the other thing is these rounds are going so quick that it's not even giving the Zero squad time to respond. They're just having to go these rounds again and again with no real time to build up a game plan. And tryhards, they are just ripping. Stanny is on 15 kills in 10 rounds.
That is crazy work. Stanley has really been pulling the weight of tryhards and himself, and that's what we talk about it. The trade machine himself coming out not only to support his teammate, Pat Rage Machine on the back, but in the meanwhile, Indigo is going to be falling, and they're going to be howling. Zero2 coming around. The true alphas here, they get themselves the lead yet again on the player count. The plant doesn't seem to be down just yet, and while Zero2 are having difficulties to keep up that lead, tryhards have already snuck right underneath their noses.
Stanley's got an AWP duel. He's going to send it left-sided and just hits the headshot. Why not? Turn it into a 2v1. And, man, Priez, just laugh every time we get to watch him. And always seeing the players biding the patience and going for that possible knife in the back to disrupt the mindset, the mentality even more. But now you've got a search out here for Shurik. You've got a 1v2. You've got decent enough HP. The weaponry isn't 100% there. And the other thing is, you look at Priez and Stanny, they've got 6 pieces of utility combined between the two of them.
40 seconds, Shurik. You need to hold out. You're holding the right position. Tryhards have absolutely zero clue where you stand. You get the first, Priest falls. The next one will be Stanny, who simply does not lose. Tryhards with another headshot. When we talk about shots, let's talk about bangs. I think it's time for another coat since, well, we are going to be reaching another point where I'm hoping everyone is ready. Because the giveaway is still ongoing. For anyone that joined in a bit late, we are doing a giveaway for an AK-47 and an M4A1S. and both of them are going to be on Gleam, linked in the Twitch, and also some secret codes that you'll be getting as long as you're coming around, you're staying tuned. And the next code will be Wallbang Wizard. That is WALLBANGWIZZARD. I'm not spelling it out again, but who's spelling out some letters? It's Absolute Death by Tryhards, as they're making another entrance, but this time around extinguished for 2, got themselves 3 in profit, and Tryhards looking like merit.
Steedy's got his way in garage.
No,
He's got him again. He's got him again. Oh my God!
Not like
Stop this guy! Dull his knives. Do something, because Tryhards are on double digits, and there is nobody that can stop them.
What? How much more can we see? The cookage might be crazy while Zero Tier are slowly burning down the kitchen. Tryhards have been getting in more knife kills than just ever. This is absolute bloody massacre. And like it, I don't know how they get themselves in these positions. I mean, clearly, the standalone place Puckshul was looking at should be denying the rotation of anyone coming in from behind, but still it was done by Tryhards. Double digits in the first half, looking better than earlier, and I don't think it's going to get any worse.
Oh boy, I mean, Zero Tier already down to 3 members here, which is going to be interesting from this high ground setup. Stemy, he's got some head pops as well. Everybody's trapped inside now. They really have no space on the outer side of sight. So here comes Friez, trades for the 2K, and Tryhards flawless on pistol rounds, 4 for 4. As long as they hit that defuse, incredible their work and what they've been doing. And when you talk about Priez, he's just been able to trade. Priez almost has as many knife kills as Duaka has regular kills.
That is shot calling. Llama, don't bully Duaka. He's got the shades. He's coming in with drip.
True.
But you are
Looking
right.
cool.
As much as fashion comes into play, the play isn't coming into fashion. And Duaka right now has not been doing it. The entirety of Zero Tier here are having a troublesome time. And I hate to say it, but 2 more rounds, Llama, and it's going to be finished, possibly.
It's just really close from Tryhards, and you see the investment here from Zero Tier. It's going to be at least a 2 for 1. Finally, they've got a positive player scenario. Amiral and Priez have both picked up different sets of shotguns to try and open up this round, so we'll see if maybe that clutch potential can be there. And the mural's all the way in the backside. Priez is going to have to run away as Stan E could be under a lot of pressure here.
Zero Tier, they finally have the upper hand, and they're going to keep it up just that way, like they like it. Tryhards now really needing to try hard and come out of this situation as the winners, although they have snuck down below. And Zero Tier, while they're on a hunt searching for him, Priest's shotgun might be a game changer, while the plant is going down. Puckshul committing to it, 1 from above, but vents are being held on tightly. I imagine 2, maybe even 3 players ready to initiate and lock down this one site. Puckshul there, planted it down, gets some kills on the other hand, an absolute multitasking machine, and Stanley coming about to try and get some beef off of his own. Will he look to disturb the economy on Zero Tier's side, or will he keep the M4A1S? I think we just got our answer, Llama.
When you've got $150 in the bank, not trying to snowball down to nothing here, and might find a timing onto a couple more. We'll pull it out into garage, seeing the first player and taking the shots for the kill. Stan E, the damage is done, and they'll escape back underground. And Zero Two loses 1 more on the bomb explosion too, so not a cheap round, but it's a round win nonetheless.
Stanley simply existing gets him not only a kill, but also the bomb gets a pick of their own too. Now that's some action, but Zero Tier, they got themselves a round. Now, we can't speak out on much about it just yet, as it's only 1, and still about 8 remain between the 2 teams. So unless we're going to start seeing a bit of that rush, a bit of that tempo coming out from the T side here, which normally should be happening, I can expect it. But hope can only do so much, and Deagles can do even more, because Rage Machine's going to open us up with a fantastic headshot.
incredible here. They're just doing damage. You said it, Stanny, just existing. That's a 25 kill count for the lobby leader. Rage Machine will die, but the smokes will guide away as Duaka gets one more. Nikatos down low, dueling against that Deagle and dies. Zero tier. This was against a thrifty purchase. This was against nothing in the funds, and they've got only Duaka on 46 HP in a dream.
Priest is still on that max 7, which is now be gone. And in the end, the 3 players lost from tryhards will certainly not be in vain. Not their sacrifices, not nothing, as Duaka is the last one to stand before match points in zero tier. And the final put is going to be put in by none other than the 26 master himself, standing, coming out with an incredible scoreline of 26 kills and 3 deaths. Definitely being the major MVP kill leader from this entire matchup, and doing that only in 15 rounds consists of him dropping about around an average of 2 kills per round, which is absolutely insane.
It's incredible. And we said anybody from this team can step up. They have truly showed it. And now they are 1 round away from a grand finals berth on Championship Sunday. Let's see what Zero Tier can do about it. Just walking through. Prius, what are you doing? The lad gets burned down to nothing and was trying to go for another Giga Chat play. Unfortunately, fell to the wayside this time. Zero Tier playing patient, and that's going to be a weaponry pickup as well.
I'm not one to speak, but tryhards have some rounds to spare, although I doubt they want to drag on this any longer. They are close to securing themselves tickets, but Zero Tier are going to be pucking them out, stealing them right from their hands. Like, oh, just as easily as that, it's suddenly converted so quickly. But Zero Tier are keeping it close and tight between the teammates, chaining onto a 2v1, the headshot not pop, and that's going to be a mistake Stanley could be regretting on for these later rounds. Although with 1 minute remaining, that's still a hefty time Zero Tier have on their hands. And the final 2 closing in right about each corner. There comes the final Winky with a deagle up from above, and having a shot as 12-4. It's starting to get closer, but it's still not close.
But it all starts somewhere, 1 round at a time here. For Zero Tier, they've got to go flawless, and even if they do, they'll only be headed to overtime. No guarantee to win it in regulation. But they've been playing a little bit more solid together. I like that patient play. But on this T side, boy, it can be tough to get some rounds. I mean, tryhards didn't think so. They had a nice and clean half of their own. But it's going to be interesting to watch where those angles come from. This is a full pistol except for Stan E. And Rage Machine has got a headshot. Bugs is going to go for the 1-for-1. And the burn down a player starts. Zero Tier up 1 player. But Priez can ruin their dreams again.
Alright, Zero Tier, we see what we're speaking. Let's have it on the board. Right now, the reincarnated, stargazing, tryhards with the 1 player, and all of a sudden, Rage Machine really needs to start printing some tickets. Otherwise, Zero Tier have started to slowly catch up. The final player right below, that's where we've always seen tryhards kind of escalate themselves down to if Major is coming down from push to shove. All of a sudden, those Zero Tier 4 players, they're going for the plant, they're looking comfortable, and the only thing that Rage Machine truly can save is going to be that deagle, which I doubt is going to be worth the time, but it possibly could allow tryhards to maybe get some extra chats in, because they're allowing Zero Tier to get away with some rounds, and the more the rounds that pass, the closer the scoreline gets. Oh.
Well, unless, I was going to say, Rage Machine might be looking for the setup, but no. Zero Tier found 2 in a row. And honestly, these setup plays are starting to get better and better. Finding some work together as a team, the communication is solid, but building on top of that, they're also ripping away some of the funds. It's just a 2-round loss bonus here to come through, and now it means tryhards, it gets a little bit more worrisome every round you lose.
It truly does. Now, tryhards, maybe you still have 7 lifelines in the pocket. I don't know if you're trying to troll them out. They don't have the economy, so this one is either going to be a thrifty or another one leading in for Zero Tier. But the story's still yet to be written about round number 18 that is currently unfolding right in front of our very own eyes. A lot of smokes there to divert attention, and a lot of shots coming in for Duaka to open up a kill of their own, allowing that KD to start rising, getting close to positive. Although Indigo here holds a terrifying position. He's being safe. He's being cautious. He gets 1. The second as well, not coming through, but standing in for the supports as they make it 3-2. And Zero Tier is starting to look a bit more desperate.
They're just trying to go for whatever their minds are set on, not necessarily what the other side of the CTs is giving them. Of course, they've got the player advantage, and they've got that bomb down as well. But it's Priez, and it is Stan E. A combination of so many kills together, 42 to be exact, in just these 17 short rounds. But that bomb is already down to 2/3. They're going to have to go quick if they want some kills.
It's looking dangerous. Sandy finds a pickup. That's going to be an opening and allowing them both to pick up AKs. Maybe the time isn't going to be the best of Virtue. But in the meanwhile, they've got themselves back on their eco game, allowing other teammates to possibly even follow up into the next, meaning Zero Tier are going to be facing a fully stacked Tryhards in the following round, with some of these players even rocking the AKs. And we see how terrified Sandy can be with that AK in hand, especially seeing he's already dropped a 30 bomb currently. And that just might be one of the most terrifying. I mean, we look at these stats, it really stands out. Sandy is a phenomenal player.
I mean, an ADR over 100 is already incredible to hit, but being closer to 150 than you are 100 is a feat inside of itself. Tryhards have got still 6 rounds to try and get one necessary round to send them off to the grand finals. Again, this is Tryhard's pick of Nuke. Zero Tier must win 2 maps straight, and they must win not only 6 rounds straight to get to overtime, but win in overtime after that.
Indigo on red. Again, the patience from Tryhards really has been a lot more outstanding. The op is going to be hitting first. A second follow-up. Chain nicely linking onto the second. Rage Machine nicely exchanging, but that's only going to be a 1 for 2, which I don't definitely call profit, although Zero Tier are looking to keep it up. That's 2. Why not make it 3? Although the mirror shuts down that hope, and Thaw just the second it gets brought up. With 1 mid and 10, I mean, the T side might be comfortable, but the fact that they're losing out on players this quickly in such a short amount of time might not be the best course of action.
You've got to guide that ship. Think about where its course is going to go, because the health bars are just so solid here from Tryhards, and you look at their position. Lemire just doesn't account for that high ground look, and Winky's got their kill. All of a sudden, the pressure comes back through Rage Machine. Do they expect a second up top? Winky's here, but the question is going to be, are you looking? No! The 4th dagger kill of the match! And Rage Machine has the chance to win it. No! The AWP puts him in the ground, but the mental damage is forever.
We're receiving some too. I feel personally attacked by that knife. I mean, what is this? The 4th, 5th time? Something like it we've seen? Yeah. A stab and none returned from the side. None returned from the side of Zero Tier, by the way. They've got one when they were cornered up and they managed to trade themselves out, but that was the very final crush they really had, like a dog pushed up into a corner. While Tryhards, they've been going at him round for round and really making sure that it is damage dealt. But Tryhard, they're back on it, maybe not fully stacked, but still some decent guns, I'd say.
They've got a decent bit, especially with those shotguns that could really change up those slightly closer angles. Indigo flashed away from their initial position on the back box side. It's actually going to be Pugs that flames away Stan E. So all of a sudden, it turns it into a 5v4. But for Yes and Rage Machine, one while blind, they've got the push out. And here they go, searching, shotgun, sniper, combination, lays them down to their grave. Duwaka is the only man left alive. 18 HP and a dream.
A dream? Tryhards, though, on the other hand, I doubt they're gonna let it go. They've given Zero Tier way too much space and comfortability, so now they need to shut it down before anything else is to be converted or any trades to be made. As Waka low on HP, the final left one to be standing 45, checking all corners, doesn't want to slip and pass by any opportunity. While 3 players stand against him, they're holding it spread, they're holding it wide, but they know what they currently have in hand. It's not only going to be fantastic guns up picked up as well. Pre's looking at the dead bodies of his own comrades. One from Bo Duaka might not be making sound. He gets the first pick. It's going to be greatness. 25, though, he does not go for the plan because he simply doesn't have the spike. He still needs to find it. It's been dropped down, and Tryhards have been holding on to it for the past minute. While the final 2, he walks into the fire and the flames, and that's how he goes out. Simply could not escape the scorching power of the sun. And just like that, we have gotten ourselves a 2-0 in a best of 3, which definitely won't be the best here, Llama. But in the end, it was a better attempt than it was on Inferno. I'll give him that.
It was awesome. I think even though it was a short 2 maps, I think you give credit to Zero Tier to even make it towards this position. Like we said, a lot of fierce composition and competition going through in the Plausible Gaming Championship Series, and they played their hearts out. They really started to bring that comeback together, and I really hope we get to see them back. But for Tryhards, it's just another day in the office. They're moved on to the grand finals and await to see who their opponent is.
Absolutely. And of course, I'm hoping that the giveaway is going to be continuing, because I think we have one more code to give off before we go into the second best of 3. Now, of course, if production is ready, we're going to get the call that they're given the code. And yeah, actually, we're just going to quickly take it to break. Llama, I think we need to rest our voices. I think after all that action and before the reveal of the second teams today, we're going to take a short one. So be right back with us, as we'll be right back.
Hard every day, work hard, then we play. I'll be doing everything in my own damn way. Ain't nobody tell me shit, I'm on top of it. Writing hits that make other people feel like writing hits. We gon' get every little goal that we wanna get. Never quit, we don't even know what it means to quit. Write it down, what you want, what you need, what you see. Everything that you wanna be. Put it out in the world, that's your destiny. In your mind, what you need is to have belief. I'm gon' make it to the top, cause I never stop. My own switch doesn't have enough. I think it's broken, I think it's lost. I guess that's why I never take a loss. Don't give up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in and you're bound to win. No need, no fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see. Don't give up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in and you're bound to win. Make a deal with yourself that you'll get after it. Find something that you love, call it passionate. Or find some passion in leaving behind adequate. Your journey starts now, time to make it happen then. You could be great, have it your way. Served up like some room service on a nice plate. The high life is only hours a day away from making a change to the life that you chase on. New year, new you, new day. Go prove to yourself you could do anything you wanna do. When you set your mind to something big that you choose, break it down to the root, chip away, gotta move. Push past all your limitations. Right now consider this an invitation. Make your worth go up like inflation and start chasing your dreams, stop waiting. No fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see. Don't give up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in and you're bound to win. No fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see. Don't give up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in and you're bound to win. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the saying, put them on display, on repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 still go, 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 slow, go, still go, 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 still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. You cannot stop me, I'ma make it to the top spicy. Call a covenant, not cocky. You cannot break me, this world's mine for the taking. Got an itch, man, I'm making. Oh, I'll keep my head down and grind and be patient. I'll take a stab at the top and the sailing. They can all try, but you cannot contain it. Cause I see the things that I want and I'm taking my goal. Push myself to the brink, no limit. Do what it takes to be free, committed. I'm a little obsessed with things, I'll admit it. But that's what it takes to get a freedom ticket. Got a killer instinct and it's just the beginning. Breaking down walls and the hurt start thinning. And the more you push it, the fast start trimming. Till you're the only one standing up straight, winning all.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give up, no, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
You just gotta wanna keep chasing. Put you everything you're facing. Keep up with the pace and adrenaline rush starts racing. Get through all the things you hate in. Don't let the others in charge of your dreams. They just don't know what it takes to be seen. You see the ship take control of your team. And if you're alone, then a one-man army. So you better be starving. And you better be carving. Through the hate, keep marching. And every day keep charging ahead till you get what you want, what you dream. Regret is a thing of the past and you'll see that you always had it inside. It's the key to make the most of this life, believe.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give up, no, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute if I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom. Read some books, something written, watch the best. Teach a system, I invest, never hidden, I ain't scared. Ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be winning, you get back what you're giving. Find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. Yeah.
Will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
Purpose is better than any drug you could ever think. If you know why you're doing something, that's all you need. I wake up ready for the day because I believe in everything that I'm doing like it was meant to be. I get fixated and captivated on learning things. Don't hesitate to ask questions, the answer that I need. It's out there somewhere, I swear I can find the recipe. By testing, learning, and turning into a better me.
Will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Will lies deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose.
I got all the voters. I swear to God, I've been at it for a minute. Climbing to the top, and this music was my ticket. Found a way to grind, turn a passion to a business. No limit, I'ma get it, having millions as a witness. I'm addicted to winning, living up every single day. I'll be fighting and building up in a million different ways.
The Plausible Gaming Championship Series featuring Counter-Strike continues right now. It's semi-final Saturday where one best of three has already been decided, and we've got one more still to go. My name is Llama77 and joined by the lovely voice of Buffo Bob here today. Bob, how you feeling? We got a little bit of a break, but we've got another best of three in front of us.
I'm feeling great. I feel like the matchup between Zero Tier and Tryhards was really nice to see. Although the first map not being the best, the second one a lot more close really inspired us and gave us hope that this next one is about to be as good, if not even better. And well, speaking of which, I mean, we have Unstoppables facing Taiko. This is going to be a close matchup, and of course, meaning possible overtimes, maybe even map number 30, which, speaking of maps, Llama, do you want to start us off with which was the first one to get banned?
Of course, we're playing a best of 3, so 4 will get sent to the trash can, 3 will be ultimately selected, and the first going to the bin is Anubis by way of Unstoppables.
And Takeo decided they don't want to leave it all in the dust, so they ended up getting rid of Dust too, just like that. I mean, I'm happy with that one. And well, what's the next one that ended up being picked?
We talk about going a little bit more neutral for your picks, and Mirage is where we're going to head for our first map of the day. It's not something super spicy, but it's again one of those maps where it's been in the pool a while. If you can recognize and execute in those mid-round plays, you're gonna succeed.
And last time around, we sadly didn't get to see map number 3, Train, which you yourself said you liked. Well, guess what? Map number 2 will be picked as Train by none other than Unstoppables, meaning we will have to see it, and I'm excited for it.
Train's gonna be fun, but of course, before we get into our final map selection, we have to get rid of 2 more. So, Unstoppables, their next up band selection is going to be Ancient. That's out of the pool. We don't like the A maps here today. Both Anubis and Ancient, we're not gonna see on either one of our 2 series.
No, unfortunately not. And I guess this time around, Repetition definitely isn't going to be naming itself, because like Nuke was map number 2, this time around it's going to be the next band, thanks to Takeo, leaving only but 1 map to remain. And well, Llama, would you do the honors?
It's the fiery start we had on map number 1 in the previous series. It's Inferno will be our decider if necessary. Like we said, if one of the teams can pull off the sweep, if they can earn both of the map victories in the first 2, then it will not be necessary. But I personally love this 3-map set. What are your feelings, Bob?
I'm loving it. I'm really loving to see the fact that not only are we going to be seeing Mirage as the first, but Train as the second. So again, the maps we didn't get to see earlier now pop up as well. I'm loving Mirage. I think it's one of the most played and most beloved maps in the CS community. And at the same time, Inferno. We love it. It was a great one. It started us off, and it will be the one to end us off in the second best of 3 semifinal we have. And speaking of which, tomorrow is a grand final, and through today, we still have some giveaways which are going to be going on through both of the days today and tomorrow alike, meaning there are some codes you can enter in through the Twitch link that's going to be dropped in the chat, and of course, a secret code. Now, we have already given off some, Llama, but there's a couple more, so stay tuned, and I think we're ready to give off the next one, because, you know, I'm starting to feel like it's been a while since we've seen a giveaway code right now, and some of you might have already been waiting for it, so, I mean, I'm ready to drop it. Llama, are you?
I think we've got to do something before we do the code. I need everybody out there to make sure you're going and subscribing to the Plausible Gaming YouTube, because that's very important. Check out all the content, all the clips they've got to show from Counter-Strike to PUBG, and make sure you're involved in the Discord, because if you're not in the Discord, you are missing out. It's like giveaways for tournaments. You could get yourself in, some prize money on top of it, and some competitive experience. You can't put a price on that.
You certainly cannot. And, I mean, who would not like to join in on this beloved non-toxic community that we're building up? You're seeing these tournaments, you're seeing people have fun, you're seeing it broadcasted, and just like you could gather some friends, you could maybe meet new friends along the journey and get yourself involved with Plausible Gaming, because we are a fantastic one. We've spread across not only CS2, but if you're an avid enjoyer of PUBG yourself, that's also where we find ourselves and could find you across the pickups. So again, a lot of teams, a lot of competition, a lot of fun, and even some giveaways, some free stuff. I don't think there's a bad thing we just named, so why not give it a chance? Make sure to also follow on all socials. Twitter, we stream there, YouTube, and Twitch. And, I mean, in between, we have a matchup here, Llama.
We absolutely do. We've got our first of the best of ones, and, you know, or not the best of ones, the first best of one of the best of 3, you could call it. The first map inside of this selection, and this is an important one. We got to see on that first series of the day where winning that map number 1 really snowballed the way in from tryhards, where they were able to take their opponent's map pick, move towards a victory. So this first match, this first Mirage is going to be selected by Unstoppables. It's going to be an important one for them to try and win.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be important, but also a lot of teams here would love to start off on map number 1 being the victorious. Now, Mirage, it's common. Everyone knows Mirage. It's like the dust kind of CS2, but like I said, very beloved. And a lot of teams, when they win map number 1 in that best of 3 fashion, they could also come in to the second map and even the third one with a lot more comfortability, just as we saw it between Zero Tier and Tryhards. Tryhards won Inferno, and they could have lost the second map and came back onto the third, although they ended up winning the second, which wouldn't have happened if, of course, the first one wasn't won. So again, the first map really carries a lot of weight, even in the long run of the entire best of 3. Now, for the team that loses it, I guess it adds fire. I guess it adds fuel to the fire in the end, because then you just have no choice but to either win map number 2 and 3 alike, meaning it's practically a needed reverse sweep.
And that's not something you want to put yourself in. Even if it is, you just say, oh, we're only 1 map down. It's not something like a different esports title where it'd have to be more and more maps. It's still a reverse sweep, the toughest thing to do across to any one of those esports titles. And opening this one up as well with Mirage and getting to see Train kind of next, Taiko is a team that has been very, very consistent. We talked about Tryhards and their success. Taiko is another team that is not a stranger to these semifinals, that has been here time and time again and looks to earn another grand finals berth, which honestly, I just can't wait for tomorrow. That best of 5 is going to be a ton of fun.
It will be. It definitely will be. And we already have a team that's going to be in one of the 2 contestant spots. Tryhards have booked themselves a ticket to Grand Finals in the first semifinal we got to witness earlier. And make sure not to miss out on the second, because whichever one of these 2 teams manages to win 2 of the following 3 maps will be getting themselves onto tomorrow. And off we go onto the present.
Unstoppables, Taiko. Time to play some Counter-Strike. We've got to wait no longer here. And for these 2 teams, it's going to be interesting to see how they sort of delve out. Taiko starting on their CT side, and Unstoppables, of course, they selected this map, so they didn't get to choose which side they started on. They'll be relegated to their T side. Straight up 5v5, and silence before the storm hits.
Let's see this pistol. The USPS, it really is a headshot machine between the 2. And right now, going into Con definitely won't be the best course of action, and Quill almost catches you off guard, but Unstoppables know how to ball, and they're going for a full apps push. Now, 1 falls. That sadly won't be the entire team, but a second as Hoop absolutely delivers a 2-pointer on the spot. More to be countered, not hitting your shots will definitely not be the best. Another for Deceived, and all starting to fall apart as Taiko have lost their players on B, with Unstoppables taking over the site.
You get control of bench here, and BV still has got a flash in the back pocket just in case to look long or to look even into the market side. You've got this kind of 2v2. The one worry is BV's health bar. So you set them up behind the bench in a safer position. It is going to be all on Tico to try and push their way in. From Evil Scrabble, they fall. Marble's got the trade. 100 v 100 on the HP. And just 2 pistols to duel it out. That bomb is already so low. The smoke is going to delay for even longer. The shots connect. And Unstoppables win the round, not by explosion, but by kills.
Mars USPS not being locked in and loaded surely didn't work out for the best on the opening round here, but Unstoppables, even with such a rough start coming out with 2 kills against them, and Taiko looking to be the dominating force, they pushed on through, they got themselves 2-3 in return, and a 2v2 is where they thrived most, coming down to a 1 against 1, and even then the pistol came out on top, and just like that, the opening round here also allowing some ARs to start popping up with Mac 10 for the odd one out on Groys, now seeing what A can really stick with.
You got the weapons, and especially on that T side, ever important to swing the angles, but ever important to not die. You're looking towards that bottom scaffolding peak. That's a perfect flame flash combination, and the utility usage will earn them a double kill combined between the 2 teammates. Deceit is going to look across the edge, and Hoop is going to take not 1, but Prodigy takes their second. These deagles are starting to hit, but it's falling down. Inquill, the last member left alive.
Not committing to the bomb. That's going to be an interesting one here. Unstoppables really seem to be out of chances. Taiko, the time is ticking. It's already halfway through, and the last one's going to be tickets with a fantastic swing from BVC. Coming out with a second round in a row. Still keeping up composure, but now what matters is the fact that Taiko have gotten themselves some better guns.
the classic flow of a Counter-Strike half. You win the first two, then you're usually on a little bit better weaponry and or utility. But it is going to be that full M4 investment, so alongside the shields, they are a hefty purchase. And Takeo, of course, they've played in 2 tournaments, and they've reached the final in both of them. They were actually the Season 1 opener of the Plausible Gaming Championship Series. Their battle was actually against Tryhards in that final, so could be in for another repeat of history, or Unstoppables with control of the pen could rewrite their own destiny.
Patience great. Go under. Get yourself distracted. The enemy team, I'm imagining Takeo, have already caught on to the fact that this is going to be yet again fully app-sided. Mid needs to be contested just for that short control. But in the meanwhile, Unstoppables here are not letting go of the seam just yet. Although no one swinging. Earlier, it worked out for the favor of Takeo with that double, although that was a pistol round, and that's just what makes the difference. But it's a one-dimensional push. Look at this one single duel. Dropping on by. That's one. A second, third, all of a sudden, Takeo are bringing them all down, and Unstoppables remaining with less than duo. The Ono left to be left, and to stay there with a beautiful nade toss, chucking it left, right, a bounce and a ricochet. And the final one he was. But was is the main key factor here as taken out, and that's going to be the first round from Takeo.
Really huge stuff overall from Hoop in terms of these last couple, but Inquil's controlling positions, anchoring in between that mid and sight. That is just beautiful to hold on for so long. Use that nade to kind of burn them down. Sure, that nade in the late round gets a kill, but it's something you would have loved to use to clear a different position. We'll get to see Hoop again on just a perfect spray down. The combination of that crossfire, you can't look 2 ways at once, and without 2 eyes in the back of their head, Unstoppables are right back to this apartment side.
Just like where they began. And again, a rough start. HP to be taken, not going to be fatal, but now it's more than a slap on the wrist as 2 players yet again are going to be falling, trying to push up Van. A 3-for-1. Can we exchange it better? Takeo starting to lose ground, and Unstoppables have completely lost it all. Takeo there with a dominating force. Yet again, their hold-on structure is fantastic. They position themselves just well enough so they can not only fully move around this rough corner on the Abs door, but they can go shot after shot, headshot after another, and just like that, I mean, Takeo have been having a real good run in these past 2.
And I like their kind of patience as well that they've showed to just abysmalize that entry to make sure every time they can trade 1 for nothing. And now on top of it, they've got the rifles. Unstoppables have got pretty much nothing. No investment. A walk through the fire will send D1 down to nothing and send the players down to the ground. 4 die, 5 leaving a body bag, and Takeo go flawless.
That's an age between the entire team. Rather, it's a group discount. 5 players all for 1, and we've seen it round for round that in the end, I mean, Takeo here are fantastic at chaining on kills.
The change up, the beauty, and overall, nice stuff there. But it is time for our next code. If you want to get involved in the giveaway, your secret code is Utility Overload. UTILITY-OVERLORD. Utility Overlord. Type it in to get those extra entries as we're right into the thick of the round.
Into the thick of it. Sade coming in from bottom. Roy's opening it up. Missing those shots will surely be fatal. Although Chava coming in for a second bout with it. Round looking better. Unstoppables now on a larger amount of players. And it keeps on progressing towards it as a similar step up the ladder. Using Takeo's players and heads as body bags. Only rather stepping stones to get themselves onto an EQ between the rounds count. But the final 2 players here may not rock the best of guns. Especially talking about Evil Scrabble's MP9. Although still, hopes have not yet been shattered.
I mean, you're on the CT side, and I think, most importantly, you've got Hoop still alive, who is on a 9-kill streak, feeling good, has the defuse kit as well, just in case things go awry. And you look on the other side, you say Evil Scrabble doesn't have the best weaponry, but you look at the utility. I mean, has a flammable, has a grenade, has the ability to do some great damage. Not if they send out spawn side and die, though. Really banking on it, thinking that it's going to fall towards their way here on this site. And it just doesn't feel like it. Chopping the rest of the crew, they have the site. They've just waited till the last moment to get this plant down.
Patience is key. Plant going down, Unstoppables are looking for all the ka-ching they can carry. And Evil Scrabble Hoop, I don't think they're looking to challenge it. Maybe still have some hope. But in any moment, it's about to be dropped on down. You're facing against 4 players, which have right now been left killless for the couple last rounds. As Teiko might have been dominant, but that dominance is put to an end. Choppa with another, chops him right up, small pieces, last one Hoop, and just needing to go on to their own TC spawn, or rather T-spawn D-Fast, delivers the last blow that was needed, and Unstoppables are going to be claiming 3 rounds to challenge Teiko's.
Nice little evener after the 3-round streak that Teiko put together. The good news is Evil Scrabble had $8,000. The rest of the team had more money as well. This is going to be a round where it's going to be back to full rifles on either side. And it's back to this Teiko CT side and seeing what they can do to shut down before things become so dire. To not let them overwhelm them so easily. They go for just a straight up 3-2 split. They're giving up mid control other than that extra catwalk.
Ramp nicely shot out. Prodigy Jer finding and shutting out Choppa, not allowing any doubles or triples to come in from his side yet again. D-Fast though on the good lock, but just completely outgunned by none other than Mar there coming in to equalize it out, or rather even put the second one down. Unstoppables are looking a bit lower on the man count. And with the time that Unstoppables have, I mean, they had such a great upbringing in the previous round, but it all seems to be for naught.
And they've got 3 players still. They can maybe just sack towards this site, send in, and try and trade well. Inquil's been good, and Inquil not this time. The headshot flies through, and they lose a lot of early positioning. That's going to force a rotation over. For Groys, they're going to open up the top of ladder, pop open the extra woodwork, and try and put the pressure on. The good news is there's still 40 seconds left. That is a ton of time.
More than enough. It is simply more than enough. Although the T side, they're going to be having a bit of a struggle. Yes, they have the spike. Yes, they have the bomb, but they need to spike it down. They need to get themselves onto that top chart of it. And while it's going to be quite troublesome, especially when CT is still holding it up close, Smart finds another. That's Groys to fall. And just evening it down from 3 to 2 is not the best position that Unstoppables want to be in. Trying to swing out to CT. It goes out with one. The second is one. It's a complete turnover. The flip of cards. How the tables have been flipped. And the last one locked down right up close. The Says could be coming out on top with a huge one. This could be a game changer and riding the wave. So he does with another shot, right? Popping that head. The final one, Ninja side. And only down to a 1v1 with a stop hitting the shot. And Unstoppables winning the round in really close corners.
I mean, it didn't look too good. But honestly, it's Decade who picks up a 4K towards the end of it. And we'll get to see the replay. It's just a perfection on the flash on this early swing out. And just gets both. It was the neither were ready to truly spray if something came through. And then that kill towards spawn side unlocks the AWP. Sends it back right into the bodywork. And that is the 4 they needed. Unstoppables have finally broken at least a little bit of the economy. Teiko, that 3-round streak still nets them at least those 2 rifles plus the AWP in this round.
Teiko picked up by surprise now. A real aggressor here. We get to see Unstoppables completely rushing it down, ignoring smoke. Now that's not going to be working their best in their favor, as all of a sudden it has converted yet again, and Unstoppables get themselves even Steven. 3 against 3. Teiko falling behind it. It seems that utility really is doing its work, taking its course and working them down to the bone, as Unstoppables now simply need to hold their crosses about as well as they can, especially with that op. It's not going to be much of a challenge. You get a body shot and it's going to be 1 down. The second one to follow, and Teiko can already be saying sayonara, looking for that swing. Not a successful shot. This could have been the perfect opportunity, but they simply don't take it. An exchange of shots. Teiko find the position. BWC will fall as Hoop makes it up for it. A 1 against 1. The final one down to none other than Groys, who manages to clutch it in the final moments with time still remaining. And Teiko now 2 below.
We go 3 rounds straight and then 3 rounds straight on opposite sides of this map. It feels like the economy finally going to be broken down as that bank Evil Scrabble has saved up has disappeared. And we get to watch it again. Realistically, it's those patient positions, longer range, and Prodigy. That kill really felt like it was going to do enough damage, but they knew they had the timing. There was only 1/4 left in that bomb timer, and the force out from the long range of that AWP was enough. Unstoppables have retaken their lead back up to a +2 counter. Taco's got to do something, try and do some damage here in this round.
Round number 9, here we go. About to be crossing the 3/4 of the first half. And Unstoppables are holding a good lead. Now that's how it should be. Mirage, although quite balanced, the T-side certainly should hold a bit of an advantage, which we should be facing off to a 7-5 split. A bit of team damage won't be looking the best, and one from short coming out to be taken out in the back. That's going to be all the way con side, but in the end, Unstoppable are still reigning supreme with 3 players on the line. Taco want to offer up fourth in complete dominance as Evil Scrabble having to force down and recycle everything for the back lines.
Not a terrible 2-kill round so far. I'd love to see if you can get a third, but I think BV is smarter than to try and swing this. Has the flammable back in the inventory too. You can just throw them out. Half the bomb timer left to go. Scrabble does have full HP, but so does the rest of their opponents. Finally, in comes the swing, and there's the headshot to follow. So Unstoppables survives 3, and will get a guaranteed tied half for themselves.
Just like that. A guaranteed split half. A 6-3 is going to be already good for the T side, but why not go more? They can still keep it going. And with the economy blow they've been currently delivering to the side of Taco, they could consistently keep it up and completely dry them out of their money and cash alongside it. They've been painting the pictures quite right. I'll be honest. It's been blood splatters all around the ground. And some of these rounds have cut quite close as we've seen a lot of 1v1 positions. But now, Taco, it's time to step up your game.
Feels like this is the round that really could put them down in a deficit unlike any other. You lose this one, the money's gone, and you have to assume it's at least an 8-3. For Grois is just going to see the first. I mean, caught in no man's land. Marble was just trying to find something and just found a death. Choppa walks out, punishes the over-aggression from Hoop, and now the position is broken. Realistically, Inquil will have to do a lot on this anchor position, and for the side of Prodigy, where do they put this AWP? I mean, there are still 5 players alive from Unstoppables, and they've made no sound cues in the past 15 seconds to give you any info.
And Taco weren't quite proactive when it came down to that mid-window peak. I mean, it really should have happened, especially if you have the op, like you mentioned, Llama, and now needing to step up to the task. 3 players have to clutch up for the mistakes and the gap left by 2. Hoop and Marb's lives will be left to be remembered. But now memories need to be made with this clutch up. 40 seconds, you're leaving them out of time, and Unstoppables will need to make rash decisions if they don't get quick about it. The bomb is going to be heading towards B. Apps, it was all diversion, as A is going to be their main directive, and not a single CT player there to counteract it.
Oh, they brought a dump truck worth of utility over towards that site, and it pulled everybody over. It's going to feel interesting here now as Evil Scrabble goes for the bit of a re-engage, and you do get to see Inquil kind of lurking around, but this is just a save. I mean, the money is poor. We said it. You lose this round, it gets down to nothing. And honestly, for Unstoppables, I think it's hunting time.
It's hunting time. But don't play with your food, as Taco can surely bite back. Unstoppables, though, I don't think they're going to be needing to go on much of a hunt. I think they're going to nicely stick to the bomb they currently planted. And Taco going for the save. It's the smart move. You're already low on money, and you're going to need to carry on this utility and guns alike into the following round if you want to have even a chance of coming out on top, with 2 of your players being left as secondaries or possibly MP9s at most. Approaching market, Evil Scrabble could have himself a bit of that eco damage onto Unstoppables, and a great nade. It was an attempt to say the least. The final kill will be Evil Scrabble's left to be had, and a 3-7 looking a lot better for the T side.
I mean, going 5 rounds straight has to feel so good, guaranteeing yourself a winning half as well. But not only that, when you talk about the kill spread, again, it's everybody really getting involved, and it's going to force Taco to take their first of 2 tactical timeouts. I think, interestingly enough, you look at the money and you say, sure, they've got a really big loss bonus here, but how much utility is it going to truly be? It's kind of been killing them that they haven't been able to get those retakes, partially because Unstoppables has just been making a lot of noise. Their smoke and mirrors play has been phenomenal.
It really has been, right? We've seen it even when pushing A. Anyone trying to push upstairs, anyone from jungle attempting to peek out has been denied by the smokes that have been confronted by Taeko, or against Taeko, by Unstoppables, which shut him down on most aggressive plays, which Unstoppables can have dangerous times trying to face. And we can take a look at these kills. They seem quite balanced. Now, Taeko, 2 or 3 players are on that bottom part, but Unstoppables, they're trying to even it out from top to bottom, with Groy's already double digits. Hoop, although being the #1 kill leader of the entire lobby, and it really shows that a lot of rounds have been close, but Taeko just haven't gotten that tip over the edge.
They've been right there, and the good news is they've gotten themselves at least 3. There's still 2 more rounds left to play, and I love this timeout specifically because you have money. It's one of my biggest pet peeves when you call a timeout and you're like, okay, we're gonna go into the eco round. What are we doing here? We're gonna get 2-3 kills and then burn down our timeout and forget what we learned. You've got this setup plan, and I like this. They're putting more resources in towards mid, saying we're gonna flame, we're gonna smoke you out, and we're not gonna full invest over towards the site until you do.
I mean, look at it. I love the fact that they're going to be trying to extend into Con. And while Window is constantly being smoked out by the side of Unstoppables, they can't really contest it, which is a smart move and adaptation from the side of Taeko. But the fact that they can't get this opening and keep it up straight, or even if they do, it completely converts against them and gets flipped on its head. Unstoppables have just been the kill leaders when it comes down to this mid game, and that's what I'm talking about. Again, Mara's going to be opening it up, but Unstoppables, that's when they start getting into the surge. They lose one, they're like in berserk mode. The more damage they take, the stronger they get. Although this time around, Taeko are looking to put a stop to it, but PBC has to say about it, as that's a double. The AK strikes yet again, and Unstoppables even it out.
Marble's down to just 8 ticks of HP, but at this moment, as you mentioned, 3v3. It's all even. The time, though, just doesn't feel good. It's 45 seconds. That's a lot of time for Unstoppables to pressure in. It's a lot of time for Taeko to make a mistake, overstep their binds. BV's down to 20 HP in their own right, but again, you look at the utility differences. It is Prodigy that has everything. Start to chuck on in. That nade is going to do some chip damage, taking BV down to 6 chunks. It's that easy shot from Prodigy that takes down the low HP player, and Marble's got another, but it's from that midsection. Groys with 15 seconds to go. Taeko, they've just got to play the patience, just back up if they want to do it, but instead that AWP misses. Evil Scrabble on the lurk, won't get their kill, but the problem is there's just no time left to go. Taeko will win this round.
Lucky shots on tickets. That's as much as we could expect for the final few moments awaiting, and Taeko closing in as the final round of the first half will be approaching us. Only one timeout up until now, and will it be a 7-5 split or a 4-8? That's what matters a lot for both of these teams. Now, of course, Unstoppables, they would love to go night and day onto the CT side and continue just climbing up the ladder, getting themselves as close as they can to match point. But Taeko have gotten themselves a good shutout game, especially with max double to double trouble. At the very beginning, it really stopped the streak. And Unstoppables, they haven't been really able to pick it back up.
That timeout was successful. They've halted the progression of Unstoppables and what they've wanted to do. And so far, just cracking in towards mid. Thinking about that entrance, Evil Scrabble's got a lot of pressure on him. Once that smoke does fade, On Top is just going to spray down and pay their life. The price, the ultimate iron cost. It's going to be some flames away to burn down BV. But that's site control. All of a sudden, Taeko is going to have to show us their retake.
Fantastic Plane's going to be aiming towards ramp side. Now, one swing from Hoop is going to be changing the man count, although Unstoppable still on the very peak of it. And a nice little flick from Chop onto left. Stairs going to be shut down. 2 final players revealed themselves to be CT side, not only smoked out, looking to gain high position. The nade deals minor damage, and major damage is dealt when one swing comes out from none other then Hoop himself. But little does he know, one's going to be close left, and Choppa making an approach, shut down by Prodigy, and that's a fantastic headshot. Just skull cracking it up, going for that defuse, not successful. The pistol claims another, and it seems like this is going to be an eco game. It's the final one, and Unstoppables claim it, come at 8-4 in the very first half.
It would have been 6 out of the last 7 rounds of that half to just put themselves back on top. A really good selection of bullets here from Unstoppables. After the timeout was called, they're just pushing their aggression, and I like that they have this little push and pull. They get forward, they get access to the spawn side, and then they just back up to ramp to a safer position that they can play from. Now all of a sudden it's 8-4, no curse activated. Takeo, of course, with that 4 on their side. We'll see what they can do now on their T side.
Like I said, T and TC can be night and day. It does depend on the teams, and it also depends on the map. Although, I can see it. Takeo, I can see the promise. Although early damage ding there, and dual Beretta's right beneath. That's going to be an interesting one. Not going to help you out when you're completely flashed out and push. This bomb's still trying to make its headway onto it, and a completely blindsided shot from Groys will be allowing him to get a kill. A second one as well, but shut down as Evil Scrabble's taking them all down. Mowing them like the lawn they are. Unstoppable's having difficulties to completely stop Takeo in their tracks as the bomb is down. It's starting to count, and a 1v1 for the final. Dual Beretta's normal versus the final, and simply it cannot win. Evil Scrabble had such a fantastic shriek, it couldn't keep it up.
BV with those glasses brings the coolness out to the server and is able to chill down Takeo as it's another setup and another pistol round win here. Now 100% on pistol rounds for 2 for 2 as we'll get to take a look at the replay. Again, it is just that aggression that you thought would work out, but Unstoppables, it's a solo effort. It's good enough here from BV to continue it away. And those final kills have got to be heart-wrenching. Just a single player decides that round. And now Takeo's got to make a quick move to apps.
With Takeo having such a great starting round, it's going to allow them to push up towards mid and take these long-range engagements. And it seems like also B will be one of their main priorities, but I don't think that's the case, actually. Smoking out window, trying to push up towards short. They have 2 routes. Now either trying to go con or short. That's the 2 you take. A boost up towards Mindo here, especially with the MAC-10, is definitely going to be a position you want to stick yourself in, although the Sade will be finding Hoop as the opening fragmentation.
That's a nice kill. I mean, Hoop is still just tied for first in kills on the lobby, having a really good game for themselves. So to take out that clutch factor is lovely, to say the least, but it's only 60 seconds left to go. You've got about half your timer approaching here. Marble's got an interesting look under the dugout, and with that smoke down through mid, it's Takeo that are taking their time here. Of course, they would make the right decision if they re-rotate back over towards A, and it looks exactly like that's what they're going to do.
Oh, that re-rotate was really catching Unstoppables by the balls. And Takeo, they went through mid. Again, it's all a game of minds. Playing it up close, and Quill will find the opening here in the post plant, and that's going to be the first one that Takeo can really work off of against. Now, as Hoop was lost, Hope isn't surely, but that seems to be getting brought down as a double against one. Takeo are starting to lose out on players, and they need to play the time game, but simply, with what they have on the count, it will not be possible. With Scrabble trying to save up that Galil as the last, but being taken down in the process, although not without a fight, takes some trades before he falls. And Unstoppables now being 10 against 4.
And I really thought Scrabble was going to get that spray transfer and save up the round. And, you know, it's these kind of minuscule details. You wonder why they had so much money in this round. It was the bomb plant plus 4 kills in that last one. And Takeo, again, this is a secondary round where you're not supposed to win it. You invested, sure, but it's not one where you have the positive economy traded towards your way. So now you go into this round number 3 of the half. You've got full weaponry. You don't have the most utility, but who needs it? You've got bodies on this T side. And it looks like they might have predicted correctly again.
They're good at predicting. They really have their A game on. And Unstoppables, 2 players B, 2 players A, and 1 right over towards mid, looking to also rotate B themselves, while Takeo have fully concentrated their mass force with flashes coming about. That's the opening here, coming on to convert it to a second, and the T side have completely taken over the A.
They have pushed in, they have sent it in, but a flash is perfect from Decade to take down a double kill. And now that just starts to tack up. Decade's position is also really just a tough one to clean out with the defensive, offensive setup, whatever you want to call it. The retake setup is going in, and it's down to Inkwell. It turns into a 1v1 all of a sudden. Start to light up, a smoke on top, but it's a turn away. Inkwell writes down the death note as Takeo gets their first round of the half.
Yeah, just like that. I mean, the bomb being planted in such an unusual spot, it really confused Inkwell. Or rather, it confused the final player that was on that TC side. He was searching for it, looking at the ground. Where really is it? And that caught his distraction. That's where the final player from Takeo, Inkwell, really swooping for the final kill. Got them the 5th round, and they're already halfway there. But oh, Unstoppables, they still have some lifelines in the basket.
They definitely do. It is going to be back towards pistols for them. That hefty investment in losing so many players over the course. Will is going to see the V. The step out is good. It's a 1-for-1. That rifle is going to be so tough to go and grab. And while they go for it, it's going to be a sight take, a push forward, and one lone man to try and defend it. No lone man able to defend against the pressure from Takeo. Sight gained 4v3.
A ramp proactive push towards the T-spawn, not working out the best. They exchange one for the other, but it's going to be allowing an open push-up from the side of Unstoppables right towards Market, forcing them there. Takeo have gotten a huge control over the situation, really acting as the puppeteers ready to pull on more strings, as CT now having to retreat, knowing the situation they're stuck in, and simply trying to keep their gun, especially with the Says, having acquired a beautiful AK-47.
You get the bonus of killing that early player, but it looks like Unstoppables, I mean, the money is still not great even after this eco investment round. Sure, you'll get a little bit of a loss bonus going, but they want to save what they have left. Takeo doesn't have the most money either, so they're not going to exactly go super hunting, just get themselves into a safe enough position. But back-to-back rounds for Takeo, and again, this is a really interesting first map, not only because we're kind of getting this back and forth, but this is also Unstoppables a map pick. So they want to be the ones to win it and try and earn that early series point.
And you see how quickly it's closing in? See how drastic of a change TC and T and TC really, or CT and T, have on these players. Again, earlier was seeming like a one-sided battle, an 8-4. All of a sudden, it's closed the gaps and only 4 rounds in between them. Now with Unstoppable starting to struggle not only on the eco game, but even to keep themselves on primary weapons and any utility at all.
It's just about focusing where you want to spend those greenbacks and finding round after round here. It feels like Unstoppables have showed before, they can clutch up with any weaponry, but it feels like when you get down towards these rounds specifically, they get dire, and it feels like you're up to 10 rounds already. Another round loss could put you even further in the dirt. The mentality could start to collapse. Prodigy's gonna send actually a nade up top and over. Prodigy just dies. Headshot through the smoke is just too easy for Decade. 50 seconds to go. Smoke off a ladder. Kill anyways. Hoops got one. Trade out 1-for-1 as well. And BV, that's all they're gonna get. Chappa from behind gets a double kill, and it's left all to Inkwell.
Unstoppables here looking to brush it off the shoulder as the final one not only low on that 22 tick and a single bullet away from certain death, be it with the AK-47 or the MP9 shot. I imagine both these final 2 players with the 30 seconds to remain are not only going to be holding Spike under their own hostage, but Inkwell is going to need to push, and he has no intel on where they lie. Try to check window, but one's right behind, not checking the 6, and Inkwell falls as Unstoppables close in for another round towards match point, being only 1 away.
That's a really good round as well. I mean, a bounce back after losing 2 in a row, finding the togetherness all throughout mid, and that timing to be able to crunch the early round setup. Now you're talking about full utility on this CT side. So great, and it's going to be some extra nades on top of it as well. You see the early smokes to cut off some window view, catwalk view. Takeo, they have to be very cautious here. They've got 4 rifles. The problem being, they just don't have a ton of utility. So whenever they make their decision to invest onto a site, they've got to give the green light to just go, go, go.
Maybe a bit more Tech 9 action. Inkwell has been left in the dust when it comes down to how much Kaching he could truly carry. And Takeo there, now force spying as well. If this round is a loss, that means the next one is Eco Force, and it's not looking great. It's not a great beginning, and looking towards a better start as Mar finally puts one down, a second one for Scrabble, and now it's looking to be a possible opportunity to stop Unstoppables.
I mean, we said when they gotta go, they gotta go. That's exactly what they're gonna do. They lose 2 on the site entry, but they should be able to take this. I mean, that smoke has got to cut off the angles as BV's going to be holding back towards spawn. Decade is on that kind of closer left-sided peak right under the archway. It's interesting to see here. The patience come through. That smoke has expired. And you wonder if Takeo want to go for the rotation. There's just no more chance to do it. No bomb from Prodigy is going to instead go for the kills and won't find them. Unstoppables are on map point.
It's not good. Look at the money that Takeo have. And 1 round away from loss, it's not going to be the greatest. Especially as Unstoppables are completely stacked. Maybe they're not riches just yet. But the fact that they have only 1 round to win out of the following 6, Takeo have to force themselves into a victorious lead to just even it out, not even win the match within regulation. It's going to be a difficult one, but maybe Tech9 Madness can pull us through.
They've got to be quick and decisive again. That last round felt really winnable. This one maybe not so much. Enko is going to fall to the headshot. It's going to be a couple extra sprays as well. For Groyce, they don't need the utility. Marble on the other side of the map has got a kill, but gets quickly traded out. There's only 1 player guarding this B-bomb site, but it's the A-bomb site. Guarded away, stolen through the kills. And 4 players survive as Unstoppables have earned themselves a victory on their own map selection.
That was good. 13-6 is definitely not a score you want to be laughing at. And Unstoppables, they truly were unstoppable on Mirage. To put the pun in, just a bit of that salt on the wound. And in the end, that's map number 1. Mirage is going to be theirs to claim. Although, I do believe it was their pick. Meaning the following, which is going to be Train Llama. I'm imagining you're excited. It's hopefully going to be the place that Takeo find themselves comfortable in. But don't forget, all of this possible thanks to PlausibleGaming. Thanks to them were we able to cast, are we able to see this competitiveness, and you should join if you haven't yet because there's no downside to it. And Llama, do you think we should take a small break?
I think we should. I think it'd be great to get a break before we head over towards a train. What do you think about it yourself, though?
What do I think about train or the break?
Either.
Let's go.
I think I need the chase. I love the race and I'm running till I'm first place. Long nights, long flights, I'ma make it big. Big dreams, big sights since I was a kid. Doing things that I like, let the pieces fit. I like the pain, feel alive when I'm under it. I could change, adapt, do what I need to. All these obstacles, they look and see through. Don't let the anger out, just let it feed you. I'll see you at the top, just let me teach you.
Yeah, I'ma be a high roller. Move forward in the battle like soldier. In the game like closer, I'll be at the top of the chain straight on her. Yeah, I got a different motive. I don't need any help, I'm a loner. You'll be seeing my name on posters. You could call me POTUS, I got all the voters.
They be like, really, you got a milli from doing something silly? I'm like, chilly, I've been killing for decades now, Billy. Well, maybe like several years, but who's counting really? I just know how to turn something silly into a milli. Got a lot to say, and a lot need to hear it. You don't quit today, we don't stop, no, we feel it to the top. Yeah, we change our whole world, yeah, we steer it. Getting lost in the things that make us all worth hearing. No, I'm the first one to turn up, learn stuff. But mostly I'm just in the lab getting work done. Cause the bills on the first, they still worth some. I never forget being broke, man, it hurts, son. But not as bad as not having any purpose. I took stabs, this and that, and it's working. But I still grind every day for that thirst. It's a curse being first, yeah, still gotta get my work done.
Yeah, I'ma be a high roller. Move forward in the battle like soldier. In the game like closer. I'll be at the top of the chain straight on her. Yeah, I got a different motive. I don't need any help, I'm a loner. You'll be seeing my name on posters. You could call me POTUS, I got all the voters.
Yeah, let's go.
New year, new me, turn it up a new degree. I'm gonna make it to the top if it's the last thing I see. Work hard every day, work hard, then we play. I'll be doing everything in my own damn way. Ain't nobody tell me shit, I'm on top of it. Writing hits that make other people feel like writing hits. We gon' get every little goal that we wanna get. Never quit, we don't even know what it means to quit. Write it down, what you want, what you need, what you see. Everything that you wanna be. Put it out in the world, that's your destiny. In your mind, what you need is to have believe.
Plausible Gaming Championship Series continues now on our semi-final Saturday. We started with 4 teams, we're down to 3, and in our best of 3, we're done with map number 1. Still I'm a 77, and the handsome Puffo Bob joined beside me. Bob, the first one was a close one, a good little back and forth, a good little set of streaks, and now we get to go to an interesting little map at the train yard.
Yeah, I'm already twirling the phone line. I'm already, wiggling my toes because it's about to get interesting. I saw the first one. I mean, all right, Mirage, it was interesting. 13-6, I saw a lot of potential there from Unstoppable, and I think we can see a lot more from the side of Takeo because we're going to be going on to train. And a really key factor I want to speculate, or actually want to focus on, is that, like earlier you mentioned on Nuke, a specific thing is that you need to know Nuke. You need to know the angles. You need to know where you want to swing, how you want to swing, ... Same goes with Train. Train is very similar to it, and if Unstoppable don't know Train as well as Takeo, they're going to be in some trouble.
And we've talked about Takeo's pedigree, right? Even though we saw in map number 1, it was close. They had pop-off moments. They're a team that has been to grand finals. They're a team that has been here in the semifinals constantly. So to see them here in Season 4 again to show up is really exciting to see. And with kind of a different map pool, with a different selection for themselves, it's like you said, you've got to know it, but you've also got to be very aware of your surroundings. Unlike some other maps where it's kind of a little bit more flat out, there's a lot of verticality in Train, a lot of different angles that you've got to be watching out for. So utility usage is going to be very key. I'm going to be interested to see for these two teams whether or not they're going to use a little bit more of those timeouts. We only actually saw one of them throughout that first map. They felt comfortable in their game plan. As I always say, even though you get a timeout, your opponents do too.
Yeah, it's free. It doesn't cost them anything. And honestly, using it can work out. I mean, it's a bad example seeing how the first semi-final went. Zero Tier and Tryhards, once timeouts were actually utilized, it was a different game, and the one team that used it actually ended up pulling in some weight and value out of them. So again, use timeouts, Unstoppables, you win this one, you're in the grand finals. Takeo, in the meanwhile, have them be forced onto the third and bring some aggression.
Love the aggression, love the start here. Unstoppables will start on that T side and ripping through. It's going to be Hoop, who had an incredible last game. Actually was nearing the top of the kill counter for the lobby. There's a double kill to start. Marble gets another, and the behind kill will set 3 different players onto a kill count. It's a quick defusal, a flawless round, and this is the Tico we wanted to see.
All right, Tico. If that's the way to get the party started, so might as well. Well, it's time to put on the party hats, get a slice of cake, because it's about to get absolutely dreading. We have a flawless for starting, and again, a lot of aggression here. It's the pistol round, we could expect it, but at the same time, we see the side... the side of Unstoppable Rock and 5 MAC-10s against a full M4A1S and a single MP9 army, which is going to be a difficult battle seeing how consistent the MAC-10 is with the damage. But here comes another aggressive push. And look at Unstoppables with a centipede push on the way on top.
Crossing his ships in the night again. Fifi's got the MAC-10 through the wall, and there's another one on top of it. Some great space taken, and with this extra kill from Evil Scrabble makes it even more exciting. Across the pillar, the dance of dodge, the dip around of Benny Hilling, and D1 Fast is able to get that headshot delivery. Now Prodigy does have an M4 and does have full HP. The question is, do they want to go for it?
I don't think they want the smoke. This is an very unexpected outcome from Unstoppables, seeing the fact that they came out with such low artillery, such low weaponry, and in general, very weak compromise. The jackpot paid off. They got themselves riches, and just like that, the 7-7 blinked, and on site they were as easily. Even though losing D-Fast isn't going to be the best of looks to that bomb, in the end the round was won, and they got themselves stacked up yet again, meaning they're going to be able to put up a lot better of a fight against the side of Tico.
I'll get a little bit of a economical booster. That's what happens when you win that second round. That's what you want to see from that T side. If you can go aggressive, find spaces in towards Ivy and in towards what are usually CT controlled positions, it just opens up the map for you, allows more options. The quickness is going to come through here from Unstoppables as they head towards the back. And it looks like for Tico, they're heavily invested through mid.
Really invested for it. Although Unstoppables, if it doesn't get broken, don't try to fix it. They're going for the same one. Nice lineup over that top, trying to push towards the both trains. And of course, ASAT alone. Right now, these smokes, flashes alike, are going to be completely telling the position of them. A full push comes out to Cease. We'll be finding the first one in Quill to fall. And now the plant is confirmed, locked and loaded. Tico, what's the response?
They've got that rifle pickup, I think, from Prodigy. That safe away, ever smart to hold. For D1 is just going to go for the long-range spray and lose it. Luckily, Chop was there, so no extra weaponry to pick up. BV's got the attack on Cherry. And it feels like this M4 might just be saved away again. Evil Scrabble's going to lead the charge to make sure everything's cleared. The linebacker able to open things up, and the timing almost there for Decade. But Unstoppables are going to win this round. It's just a question of can they find these stragglers.
Even if Takeo wanted to take him out, the HP is going to be simply too low, and Unstoppable is there. You see the barrel, you see the head, but you can't execute. And Evil Scrabble will be doing exactly that onto you, taking action into their own hands. One player to take out in the final few moments. And just like that, Tico are now going to be one player, or rather one round lower to what Unstoppables have to offer. The TC here would be a bit more expected to be having a better run, although that's just the beginning of the first half. So let's give these players some time to set it in stone.
Gotta let time for the concrete to dry here. The match ever evolving. Unstoppables would love to go into the grand finals, though, off of a 2-0 and off of their opponent's map pick. I do wonder as time goes on how quickly the shots are going to come in. Decade, look at this opener. You've just got two isolated players on an island, and the volcano is ready to erupt. Plant goes down. Fast position is going to continue. They've just executed through the smoke and executed everybody. 2v1. Inquil's got the rifle.
He knows where he wants to shoot, but there's simply two angles that you can't decide between. Choppa takes the final piece out of the cake, and Takeo are going to be already losing a bit of that comfort zone. Now slowly starting to feel the tipsy bit of the side of Unstoppables. This is looking like a similar run earlier. Takeo might have been able to run the similar race, the similar strength, and at the similar pace that Unstoppables were putting up, but over time they started losing it and falling further and further behind, which we're starting to see so early on, and that simply isn't the best, although Evil Scrabble gets one, but he fast! Even when blind, it still goes in for the shot and finds some value.
Doesn't even need the eyes to hit the shots. Unstoppables, of course, taking down Hoop, who was just so solid in that last map. We've talked about that confidence time and time again to really pressure in. I will say, deaths in a lot of the past rounds for BV has put them down to $450. So if you can keep chipping away at that economy, if you're Tico, you would love rounds. But even more than that, forcing them into a snowball position that starts to melt away the winter snow on top of it. Inquil's got a lot to cover here, though, against this Unstoppables push if they execute.
Now, 1-for-1, great. 55 seconds, not as much. Unstoppables are going to be forced to make a move, and it's up to Takeo to guess what side they're going to be trying to aim their directive focus at. It seems like B will be the main focus. We can clearly see it. 4 players ready to go down the 2 sets of aisles. The Molly not going to be sticking the best, although trying to cover top side. The flash great, but evaded, although still not going to be able to escape that. 2 players make entry. 1 is to fall, and 1 to remain, as the final one shot out. An Evil Scrabble coming out for a possible flank on hallway, but simply a bit too late as the bomb is already down. Choppa holding them in nice and tight, and it's all down to Scrabble. Can he clutch it up against 3? Does he want to take the risk, or simply save that M4 for a following round?
I mean, it's a combined total of $650 between the 5 members of Takeo. Left in the bank, it is not looking so good, and with this position, just looks like they want to catch somebody out on a further rotation. I think all the boxes were checked in this round for Unstoppables. You look at where those kills fell, where they were able to really steamroll on in. They're going to look for it here. That AWP delivers. And Evil Scrabble shall not survive. BVC, the lowest money player on Unstoppables, also does save away that weapon, so everything is going good.
Absolutely. And for all of you that have been following through the entire stream, we have a lovely code to drop on by here. As you're seeing the replay, make sure to enter the giveaway for the AK-47 and the M4A1S that is currently being held on Gleam. The link will be on the Twitch, but there is a secret code that we must give out, another one, and many more to come tomorrow and throughout today, as right now it's going to be Mid-Control Masters. That is MIDCONTROL-MSTMAS. TERS. And while we're talking about Masters, this is going to be Mechanical Giftness from Choppa, and she shuts down Takeo in a fell swoop. All of a sudden, the entire team has faltered, and even though pistols might not be the best of choices, it simply was no challenge for this lone player.
I mean, incredible. Sharpens the daggers, brings it on in, and the plant is going to follow as well. Marble just has a pistol. I mean, surely you don't try and save it away. Might look for a pickup on something across the dead bodies littered inside of that top selection. Unstoppables have just been playing with a fury, this quickness that has been unable to be matched up. I think you have to try and inquire about what is your answer to this, because overall, it's not necessarily the space that you've been giving up, it's the space that Unstoppables has been taking straight from your nose.
Really? And Taiko, they just have to bite the bullet in a position such as this. They really can't fight against it. They went for the eco, it didn't work out the best. Maybe the next one, but if that one doesn't, Unstoppables have already racked themselves up enough rounds to secure a very decent drop. Although Mar trying to keep his AK, so he does. Last two not to be contested, and in situations like the 4v1, it at least following the tradition from the first semi-final we got to witness today, I'm surprised Unstoppables haven't pulled out a knife yet.
They found some backwards angles, that's for sure. Haven't quite had the ships passing in the night angle to catch someone unaware. Unstoppables, though, I mean, they are very aware of this 5-round streak that they've put themselves on. A great position to be in. And Takeo, once again, it's a full investment, full utility, full setup. The thing this time is going to be interesting to watch is Prodigy's AWP versus D1 Fast's AWP.
A versus A. Who gets to take the head of the other and serve it on a silver platter? That's the real treat by the end of the day. Takeo, this is going to be a needed victory. Let's see how the beginning is going to be suiting you. Royce finds one, the second not succeeding. Neither the third, as Evil Scrabble's putting them all in the dirt. And all of a sudden, Takeo have found a great success off of a single swing. But D-Fast Scope simply does not let go. The Saints find one as well. And it's all left down to 2 in the face of 2. A single shot here could be determining the winning round. A beautiful flash. They're going to nicely shut down one of these players trying to contest. And Unstoppables have gotten entry onto site, but they can't execute yet, as Unkill and Prodigy both take their shot and win other ones.
Prodigy with the wrist check there. Gets a nice little flick, turns it into a round victory. And we talked about that AWP, it's such a scary investment, especially for Prodigy, who realistically did not have any money left. But it's good enough for a round win. 5-2 so far. A great start from Unstoppables on their opponent's map pick. But we get to see that replay again, and just incredible the angles that Prodigy was able to find.
Yeah, I mean, the timing, both of them clicked at once, and Takeo, that's the line and thread through the needle that we've been searching for. It might not look as complex as it is, but they're able to keep up with the paces of Unstoppables and getting back on similar track now, going band for band, and again, kill for kill. Sace gets it, but we're looking for that trade-off, which Mar is good enough to deliver. Now with the USPS going to be trading it out of the damage, and Impule to follow. Another from Unstoppables, second to chain on with it, and yet again, in a similar count of players, 1 against 1, Mar to Sace, who will be able to claim glory here, as now we're looking for the plant possibly just to get extra money in the bag. But with 1 minute remaining, what are we going to be doing, Takeo? Are we trying to read, or are we trying to get rid in?
Takeda's got this read. AWP, oh, the stick out though is not seen. Finally has to go back and grab that C4. Looking to make a plant as soon as possible to force the issue here, but what's going to be seen? Surely you saw that drop down, but it's ring around the rosy. Decay doesn't know, now comes down the bomb. 5-2 is the scoreline. Could go either way. Spray down not there, and safely tapped into the corner is going to isolate the angle. Marble only the 3 kills all game long, 2 of them coming in this round. Spray's good, headshot's better. That's the 3K victory for Takeo.
Holding it for a slight moment, but a slight moment too short, just allowing the nice slide in for Mar to get into those DMs, message him a shot, and get out with a victory. Another round closing into the current status that has been held by the side of Unstoppables for a bit too long, and it seems to be getting put to a halt for now, and they need to really get back onto their game, because currently they've been losing a lot, not only round-wise, not only when it comes down to the openings and how well they manage to execute in these final needed moments, but also the economy has started slowly shifting against them, and sooner or later, it's going to be showing in full.
Full moon out tonight. Have to bring those claws. Get ready to transform into what is your full form in this map. Of course, Unstoppables, they've got the safety net of if they do lose this, they're good to go for a map number 3. That's Inferno. In case anyone was wondering, you can see it at the top left of your screen. For Marble and the rest of the crew, though, it's a little bit slower pace of a round that not necessarily used to here. Unstoppables, very different of the game plan this time around.
Unstoppables have been placing down this foundation brick by brick, and Takeo seemed to be the wrecking ball, looking to put a stop to it. Now, how do you stop a wrecking ball? Be a wrecking ball yourself, as Choppa looks to prove exactly that, just dodging a bullet by the mere centimeter, and not missing out on an opportunity to nicely sneak up close to this enemy site, getting a second kill. It's one for another. D-Fast makes a difference, and Unstoppables, truly unstoppable, as Choppa comes in with another swing, planting it safe behind Train, and Inquil, completely confused, discombobulated, looking for his track, but can't stop stepping over his own tail, as Takeo now their run has ended, and the final shot from D-Fast has made its course. 3-6, a draw to be made. Unstoppables still looking to make it better.
I like that investment too. I mean, you keep buying back into this AWP. It hit early on for D1 Fast, and now you're able to hit it again. So a start to the swing back. You talked about the end of that streak, but more importantly, again, the money situation is just not there. Even though the lost rounds, the bonuses were falling in their pockets, it is just one single non-full scoped weaponry to try and bring this round to fruition.
Unstoppables getting themselves a lot more balance on how much money they currently carry. But a loss or two might be able to bring them down, and Takeo are relying on it, although can't rely much more on those pistols, and the SSG on Mar, who's playing it up long range. Those shots should have made it clear where the push is going to be intended. Inquili's perfectly timed, and just like that headshot, make sure that Choppa is put to an end, and that's an opening here, a great one at that, but you're not looking at the right angles, as Takeo has been sneaking around Unstoppable's nose, right beneath it for a matter of fact, and taking it one after another. How are these pistols coming out on top? Takeo dominate Unstoppables in thrifty-like fashion, getting themselves up on eco, while Unstoppables are put down in the dirt.
I mean, that's just the unthinkable. That's the worst way to lose a round. 4 players survive with picked up weapons from their opponents as they fall down to the ground searching for this map pick to go their way. They've finally found some great positions to hold, and I think for Unstoppables, they went a little bit over-aggressive there, trying to go back towards that mindset they put in at the start. Now it's going to be an interesting rotation. Inquil has a lot on them here. 1-5, and it's going to be the 5 that wins it. Can they get this plant down? Can they keep it going? The answer is yes.
They're looking for a response. They really didn't like the way they were treated with those pistols, so they're looking for a flashback. They're looking for some battle back, and so they're doing right well. Prodigy and Mara now needing to fight back against such odd chances. Lows as well, and those stats not looking the greatest as Takeo are remaining with a final one, and that investment into the op not to be gone in the dust, but rather reserved for a following round. Unstoppables in the meanwhile, though, will be making sure that it's profit in the first half and a 7-5 in the worst case scenario.
It's a guaranteed half victory, as we like to call it. And with just one player left, of course, being Prodigy, is going to back their way up and try and save that AWP towards that next round. Unstoppables survive all 4 players, nobody dying to that explosion And it's going to be a push forward here. The takeover, the looking good, and of course, on this replay again, the important thing to watch is just how fast they're going. I mean, they invest their non-rifle player into the start, they turn around perfectly for some B-long defense, and they've guaranteed themselves, as we mentioned, a half victory.
And it's ironic, right? Because once Unstoppables are playing passive, held back, trying to play off utility, Taiko can just run in and get themselves easy kills with pistols of all weapon choices. While Unstoppables, once they rush, it's their round to claim. Now they need to do it correctly, but they're good at their push and charge. Now can they charge through another to get themselves a 4-8 lead like they did in the previous? I believe that's the exact scoreline we were looking at once over on Mirage.
And indeed it was. Of course, Mirage, that first map that Unstoppables was able to take. And they kind of cleaned up on that second half. Started to lock in even more. Takeda going to swing it and get their kill. That flash perfection. How about two? D1 Fast is putting in absolute masterclass performances. But it's actually going to be Scrabble and their teammate to take back 3. Unstoppables are limited on their player count and their health bars as they send in, and BV just gets a freebie.
It's a game of ping pong. We pass on a 3K left, right, and center, and all of a sudden we're left in a bit of a standstill. Call it a Western stand off, but nades, mollies, flashes, smokes, whatever you want to throw, unless it's going to be an ending blow, it'll be a difficult one to pass on. Exchanging your teammate, using him as a body bag, rather meat shield for the final, and being left with that 50. BVC now having to fight against Scrabble, who really ended up dealing the biggest blow to Unstoppables last round in the first half, and it's down to this fight, and a single bullet into the head right between the eyes, and Evil Scrabble lost sight as a 4-8 deciding the very beginning splits 50-50 going for the side of Unstoppables as now the raid against 4.
I get a nice little half, and honestly a couple of really good flashes open this one up, but BV's aggression, the perfect time swing, sure a 1v1 can go either way, but just knowing when to swing, having that positional awareness sets Unstoppables up for a possible 2-0 sweep. We'll see if they can get it done, or if Taiko, the alerted team, the historic rise, if they can do it again.
Can they do it again? There we go. The pistol swinging out alone into so many players, but still coming out in greatness. Choppa's putting him down. Is this going to be an ace? He went out with absolute glory. 4 players under the belt, and the last one for the Hazed. Unstoppables put him down one after another like dominoes, shattering them on the spot. 9-4, one away from the Big Ten, and that's definitely a way to start us off.
I mean, there is nothing to break down in that round. That is just pure decimation from one single player. And you know what? Choppa, get the rewards. Get up to that M4 and pay it off here. See what you can do with that 9-4 advantage. The pistol rounds have been going real good for Unstoppables. Those free rounds, I mean, if you think you're winning pistol and bonus, that's +4 free rounds every single time. Ooh. But the kill's going to come for free as the 2-man stack works out, and Prodigy's got one from behind.
There we go. Taiko doing it yet again. Pistols is all they truly need. Might as well run every round with secondaries alone, because that's where they honestly find most success. Finding 2 Unstoppables, they still have the gun advantage, but when you're going up against stacked players, pushing you at both and the deagle popping your head in split, that's where Taiko are good at, and Unstoppables have not been able to find a solution out of it just yet, although playing it up close seems to be their best comfort zone, as that's one for the return. Second one right by DFast, and it seems like they're working perfectly together in symphony, and now looking to deny the plant, but where will it truly come from, as this swing from Groys could be the game changer. 2 at once, will it be perfect? Yes, just the second dropped by Choppa, and making sure it's still good, playing together, all coordinated. Taiko, Evil Scrabble, needing to recycle it all together.
Trying to reduce, reuse, and the final recycle, but no, they're the only ones sent to the trash can as Choppa, again a multi-kill performance, puts Unstoppables not only 3 rounds away from victory in the map, but 3 rounds away from victory in the series.
And we don't want that. But Unstoppables, it would be more than wanted here. We would be more than granted without a doubt. They've been crunching in some of these rounds like it's absolute breakfast material. And Takeo here, now they're going to be back on those AKs. Now they're going to be looking golden. Now they're going to be looking better. That's what matters, as this is going to be a lot more even of a fight. And let's see what Unstoppables are going to be reporting out with, as that's the opening combination with a flash. Unstoppable. That's what I'm talking about, as this ace comes out with a second. And Takeo now starting to lose out on that mental, I imagine.
It's got to be starting to falter. At the same time, I mean, they've gotten towards this point. They're strong players, and the position is going to be broken in even further. It's all down to Scrabble. 100 HP, sure. 100 shield, sure, why not? The armor's phenomenal, but it's no more. It's down to D1 Fast, who picks up their second kill of the round. And Unstoppables, they've broken everything. It's going to have to be some sort of half investment coming through here from Takeo.
Either half investment or an eco, and then hoping you can match that with around 6 to 8 rounds in a row. Flawless performance, and keeping Unstoppables at bay. Now that's a difficult one, and Unstoppables have made their own bed, just like Takeo, although one's going to be sleeping a lot better.
Right now, sleeping in the ground is the Seiko squad. They're down to just 2. Marich, Scrabble, trying to work together. D1 Fast just rips them on the reload. Perfectly sniffed out that timing. It's a Tech 9 versus everybody. The dream is more than enough here, though, to earn the first kill. But that dream dies as Decade earns the final kill of the round. Unstoppables, they're one round away from winning the whole dang thing.
And there we go, 12-4, final hopes coming out. It was a bit of an eco, a side buy, and all of a sudden we are coming down to these final few moments where we just wonder, can they do it? Can Takeo come back in such fashion?
I want it as much as you do. Map number 3 would be just a gift on top of the present that this day has already been. But living in the present right now is Unstoppables. They've got the 12-4 advantage. They've got such a lead here. And Groys is just right inside the back line. They are smushed, they are crunched, and they are pushed to the brink here. Finally, Inquil gets something back, but not before losing half their HP. It's going to be Chapo dying as well. It's a 3v3 setup. Takeo's got life.
Oh, trying to lurk around B-halls. Definitely won't be the best of lingers, but Takeo have made themselves more than obvious, although this rotation has not been locked in and loaded just yet. But it seems like Prodigy has made a great headway to catch one of these players. Caught hook, line, and sinker. DeSays doesn't even know it, and that's a headshot to turn Takeo's loss into a win. A possible loss could have been there. Unstoppables could have had it all, but simply they dropped it. And from a 5v3, it's all down to 2 players remain. B comes out with 1. That's Prodigy to fall. The plant isn't down yet, and the pressure hasn't started arising. Unstoppables still have so much on the line, and they can shut it down. They can stop it and put it all to an end in this final round to come. But is it the final Takeo? We still need an answer.
The health bars are just abysmal. I mean, in combination, they've got 56 HP rather. D1 Fast is going to pull out the pistol to do some clearing. That AWP is still in play. You do wonder, that AWP on that closer angle, the bomb going to be planted out in the open, so some safer angles can be taken. Hoop has been so solid across the day. You would hate for the journey to end right here. Walking dangerously into each other's crosshairs, and this could be a nice little clear. You look at the utility left to go. It's going to be a flash, a couple smokes, and a flammable here, but it's the rightful scene, the 2-for-1! Who burns the clutch, and Takeo breathes a breath of fresh air.
But that's only the first step, Takeo. You have many more to take, and a single slip-up will be causing you to fall down deep. And deeper it will go. As Unstoppables, they have gotten themselves such a great track record into the second half even, that they're not going to be missing out on any money.
Money. Feeling good. Unstoppables. We'll see what they can do. Their victory. You'll look at a little bit lesser of a buy, but those nades are great. Choppa's going to go for the drop down. Hoop is going to go for a little bit of a run-in. 73 HP is such a detrimental starting to have your AWP or on 26. Sure, it's only 1 bullet, no knife. Thinking about it, Groy's trying to work around the edge, but thought he was going to go inside and slide in for a possible kill on the other side of red, but chooses to go towards their teammate.
Oh, it's going to get a lot more tense here, and Quill going to be holding it off angle just to catch someone maybe when they're stepping in the wrong direction. Unstoppables here, ready to put it all to an end, while Takeo still battling back for the final few moments, and no opening has yet been locked in. That's the most terrifying part of it all. It seems like the swing is ready to be anticipated. Takeo don't want to commit to it just yet, especially when they're not most confident in their ones, nor have they been up until this point. Not gathering too much too closely, as Unstoppables are really holding hands going into these possible final few moments. 45 on the line, and the T side ready to initiate.
We've got only a little bit of time now, though. I mean, they could just run out here with how many players are still left from Unstoppables. They've got to go. Archie's got one. Scrabble's got another. Takeo! Is it enough to push it over the line? D1 spray! Destroys everything! Hope must do it all again. And the bomb is placed on the ground. Fast is just gonna take him down, sending Unstoppables to the grand finals.
Really got to put on the suit for that one. That was absolutely phenomenal. The final spray from D1 Fast. Are you kidding me? The velocity of that player is unmatched. And in the very end, we have ourselves a result, ladies and gentlemen. Both of these semifinals ended up going to maps, which is just a bit of a tear down the cheek. And in the end, we sadly could not get to see the map 3. But in the end, we got to see Train, which is already a great success. And more than congratulations to Unstoppables for truly being the unstoppable fours they claim in their name. And also booking themselves a great ticket into the grand finals.
They will play Try Hearts tomorrow. Of course, that stream going to be about the same time as this one. We've got a best of 5, so I'm really hoping we get to see the full length distance. But if you guys are somebody watching at home on our multiple different platforms, make sure you guys check out Plausible Gaming, because they have built just an amazing non-toxic environment where you can test out your skills for not only our Counter-Strike division, but also our PUBG division of esports.
Absolutely fantastic. And like you mentioned, non-toxic, very welcoming, and for anyone to join along, get themselves some fun, get themselves some prizes. There's also a giveaway currently being held, and everyone is there for it. And Plausible Gaming, we thank you so much. We thank the players, and of course the staff in the background working, because today, Llama, this was an absolute blast. But sadly, all these matches come to an end, so will this broadcast, and I imagine everyone at home is just waiting for that grand final to come around the corner.
Oh boy, the grand final is going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. If you guys missed any of the action here today as well, we're going to be posting clips over on the Plausible Gaming YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button there, because they're going to be building up your excitement. You might say, oh no, what do we watch after the grand finals? You can relive all those amazing moments until our next championship series, PUBG and Counter-Strike flowing through their seasons. And who knows, maybe if you get in the Discord and are a fan of a different esports title, you could build up that section of the community and build up another grand finals up here on stream.
Absolutely. So make sure to subscribe, follow on all socials, get around, get together, and of course, make sure to follow Plausible for further events on CS2, PUBG, and the like. But for that, that's going to be all. I think we're ready to close it out, Llama. It's been a great day for today, and I mean, I'm hoping to a better one tomorrow, because grand finals are set and we're ready to have a bit of a break. So up until then, we'll be seeing you and hope you have a great rest of your day.
I'm gonna make it to the top, cause I never stop. My on switch doesn't have enough. I think it's broken, I think it's lost. I guess that's why I never take a loss. Don't give up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. Just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see. Don't give up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. Make a deal with yourself, so get after it. Find something that you love, call it passionate. Or find some passion and leaving behind adequate. Your journey starts now, time to make it happen, man. You could be great, have it your way. Served up like some room service on a nice plate. The high life is only hours a day away from making a change to the life that you chase on. New year, new you, new day. Go prove to yourself you could do anything you wanna do. When you set your mind to something big that you choose, break it down to the root, chip away all your limitations. Right now consider this an invitation. Make your worth go up like inflation, and start chasing your dreams, stop waiting.
No fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see, don't give up, just believe, and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. No fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see, don't give up, just believe, and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.